welcome to all the directors, Shri Atul Kothari ji and
हाँ जी, नमस्कार ललित जी।
नमस्कार जी, श्री S.C. रलन जी, श्री चंद्रशेखर जी, सबको नमस्कार।
Good morning, everyone. I am very pleased to be here today to extend to you all a very hearty and warm welcome on behalf of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, National Institute of Technology, Jalandhar. The purpose of the education system is to develop good human beings capable of rational thought and action, possessing compassion and empathy, courage and resilience, scientific temper and creative imagination, with sound ethical moorings and values. It aims at producing engaged, productive, and contributing citizens for building an equitable, inclusive, and plural society as envisaged by our Constitution. We welcome you all for the panel discussions on role of NITs to make India as Aatma Nirbhar and strategies for implementing National Education Policy 2020 for NIT. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity, as it expels the forces of darkness and gives us positivity and happiness. Light also means life. So to seek a new direction in life and to make this morning a blessed one, let us invoke Goddess Saraswati by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. For seeking the choicest blessings for the same, I invite our director, Professor Lalit Kumar Avasthi, and all the dignitaries to kindle the lamp in the presence of all present here and online. Thank you, sir. I would now like to invite Professor Anish Sachdeva to welcome and introduce the highly accomplished experts who all have high level of knowledge and skill in their respective fields. Professor Anish Sachdeva.
Good morning to all. Keynote speaker of the day, Shri Atul Kothari ji. Chief guest of both the sessions, Honorable Chairman BOG NIT Jalandhar, Shri S.C. Ralhan ji, and Chairperson BOG NIT Hamirpur, Dr. Chandrasekhar ji, Director B.R. Ambedkar NIT Jalandhar, Professor Lalit Kumar Avasthi ji, and participants. I extend a warm welcome to all of you on the occasion of today's panel discussions on two important themes: role of NITs to make India as Atmanirbhar and strategies for implementing National Education Policy 2020 for NITs. I find immense pleasure in introducing our keynote speaker, Shri Atul Kothari ji. Shri Atul Kothari ji is the National Secretary of Shiksha Sansthan Uttarnyas, New Delhi, and Chief Architect of National Education Policy 2020. He has been associated with various universities and educational institutions as expert in the field of education management. He is member of Himachal Pradesh School Board. He is patron of Bharatiya Bhasha Manch and Bharatiya Bhasha Abhiyan. He is the founder of Shiksha Swasthya Nyas Dakshina Foundation. He also remained member of Value Education Board of Studies in Punjab Technical University. He has written and edited many books and articles on the importance of Indian education system. He is the editor of magazine Shiksha Utthan. He has strongly advocated the role of local languages in higher education to raise the level of education. According to Kothari ji, अगर देश को बदलना है तो शिक्षा को बदलना होगा. We will be fortunate to listen Shri Atul Kothari ji, who will be sharing his vision on both the topics of discussion today. I feel extremely honored to introduce chief guest of the session, first session, Shri Subhash Chandra Ralhan ji, also chairperson of Board of Governors NIT Jalandhar. He is the managing director of Shri Tools Industry Ludhiana. He remained associated with the Engineering Export Promotion Council and Federation of Indian Export Organization for a very long time. He also served as Director of Export Guarantee of Corporation of India Limited, President of Ludhiana Hand Tool Industry, member of number of advisory committees and governing councils of various organizations like Central Tool Room Ludhiana, Central Institute of Hand Tools Jalandhar, Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, American Welding Society, and many such organizations. Presently, he is the member of BOG of NITs Chandigarh also. He has vast industrial experience and also in the field of academia. Today, he will be sharing his vision on the role of industry and academia in making India Atmanirbhar. We are also honored to have Professor Chandrasekhar ji as chief guest of second session of panel discussion, which is on national education policy. Professor Chandrasekhar is the chairperson of Board of Governors of National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur. A distinguished scholar, Professor Chandrasekhar began his career at Central Scientific Instruments Organization, Chandigarh. He also worked in Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, corporate R&D division at Hyderabad. Later, he joined IIT Delhi in 1989 as Chief Design Engineer. He remained professor at Instrument Design Development Center, IIT Delhi, till 2015. And now he is Professor Emeritus in the same department. He also remained Director of National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur, Himachal Pradesh, and also acted as expert in various capacities in so many national and international organizations. He has published more than 185 research papers and 5 book chapters and has 4 patents to his credit. Professor Chandrasekhar was recently bestowed with the Lifetime Achievement Award 2018 by Instrument Society of India for his significant contribution to the field of holographic and speckled metrology. Based on his vast experience in the field of technical education, he will share his vision on the implementation of national education policy in the second session. It is our privilege to have eminent panelists, Professor Anupam Basu, Director NIT Durgapur, Professor Bibhuti Bhushan Biswal, Director NIT Meghalaya, Professor Pradeep Kumar Jain, Director NIT Patna, Professor Shyamlal Soni ji, Director NIT Uttarakhand, Professor CSP Rao, Director NIT Andhra Pradesh, who will share their wisdom on role of NITs to make India as Atmanirbhar in session 1. Our eminent panelists for the session 2 are Professor Mahesh Chandra Govil, Director NIT Sikkim, Professor Karnesh Kumar Shukla, Director NIT Jamshedpur, Professor N.V. Ramanna Rao, Director NIT Warangal, Professor Minishaji Thomas, Director NIT Trichurapalli, Professor Rajat Gupta, Director NIT Mizoram, Professor K. Uma Maheshwar Rao, Director NIT Surthkal, who will throw light on topic strategies for implementing National Education Policy 2020 for NITs. out of their wisdom and insightfulness. Last but not the least, the director of the institute, Professor Lalit Kumar Avasthi, who is pioneer in the conduct of this panel discussion in the most relevant areas in the field of technical education, has provided dynamic leadership to the institute, as a result of which the institute has achieved remarkable ranking in NIRF 2020, and the institute has also been placed in band A in the Atal ranking on innovation, along with other institutions of repute that have been established 3 decades earlier than NIT Jalandhar. Transforming the crisis of pandemic COVID-19 into opportunities, he has steered the ship of NIT Jalandhar in organizing various programs and innovations during the last 7 months. I am happy to share that during the last 7 months only, around 80 webinars, online conferences, STCs have been organized, around 30 IPRs have been filed, and 4 technology transfers have taken place in the institute, which was possible because of his drive and involvement. He will also share his vision on the topics of both the sessions. I hope there will be fruitful discussion in both the sessions that will craft the roadmap for implementing the new education policy in NITs and set the direction for NITs to play a decisive role in making India Aatma Nirbhar. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Anish. Let us now invite Professor Lalit Kumar Avasthi, Director NITJ, who doesn't need any introduction and is known among all of us for his wisdom, far-sighted vision, and knowledge, to say a few words. Sir, you have motivated people by your dedication and hard work. There are many aspiring to be like you and try to see opportunity in every difficulty. Professor Lalit Kumar Avasthi, sir, please.
Good morning and greetings from NIT Jalandhar. We have been witnessing a lot of development at NIT Jalandhar, and all credit to my faculty, students, staff and stakeholders. As has been said, we are now 52nd in the NIRF and in A band in Atal Innovation Ranking. I, on my personal behalf and on behalf of Institute, welcome the esteemed guest, Sri Atul Kothari ji, National Secretary, Shiksha Sanskriti Uthanyas, the chief guest for the first session, Sri S.C. Ralan ji, Chairman BOG NIT Jalandhar, chief guest for second session, Professor Chandrasekhar ji, Chairman BOG NIT Hamirpur. I welcome all the panelists. For first panel, I welcome Professor Anupam Basuji, Director NIT Durgapur, Professor Vibhuti Bhushan Viswal, Director NIT Meghalaya, Professor Pradeep Kumar Jain ji, Director NIT Patna, Professor Shyamlal Soni ji, Director NIT Uttarakhand, Professor CSP Rao, Director NIT Andhra Pradesh. The main agenda for today have been, on one side, the Aatma Nirbhar Bharat, and on second side is the national education policy, its implementation. So today, the directors of the various NITs have gathered here, and they will be deliberating that what will be the role of NITs to make India self-reliant on one side, and how this new education policy can be used can be channelized to uplift the overall education system and to augment the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives. So this has been the main agenda, and we have around 12 directors here, and then we have Atul Kothari ji and Chairman Sri S.C. Ralan ji and Chairman Sri Chandrasekhar ji, who will be deliberating on these issues, and we wish that we can come up with a guideline or a recommendation of this panel, which will be then shared with the Ministry of Education for implementation. As you all know, Atmanirbhar Bharat is फ्लैगशिप प्रोग्राम ऑफ अवर ऑनरेबल श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी। और कोविड-19 महामारी के दौरान उन्होंने देश को संबोधित करते हुए इसका आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान शुरू किया। प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि अगर 21वीं सदी के भारत का सपने को साकार करना है तो भारत को आत्मनिर्भर होना पड़ेगा। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इस बात पर बल दिया कि भारत को कोविड-19 संकट के दौरान इसको एक अवसर के रूप में देखना चाहिए और हाउ टू कन्वर्ट दिस चैलेंज इनटू एन अपॉर्चुनिटी। वर्तमान में वैश्वीकरण ग्लोबलाइजेशन के युग में आत्मनिर्भरता की परिभाषा में थोड़ा बदलाव आया है। आत्मनिर्भरता दैट इज सेल्फ रिलायंट इज नॉट सेल्फ सेंटर्ड। भारत शुरू से ही वसुदेव कुटुंबकम की संकल्पना में विश्वास करता है। अतः भारत प्रगति करता है तो ऐसा करने से वो दुनिया की प्रगति में भी योगदान करेगा। आत्मनिर्भर भारत के निर्माण में वैश्वीकरण का बहिष्कार, ग्लोबलाइजेशन का बाइकआउट नहीं है, अपितु इससे दुनिया के विकास में मदद कैसे की जाए इसके ऊपर ज्यादा विचार रहेगा। मिशन के 2 चरण हैं। पहला चरण, द फर्स्ट फेज इज in first phase will be the main concentration is on medical, textile, electronics, plastic, toys, or these are the areas which will be given preference for export. In the second phase will be mainly concentrating on gems, ornaments, pharmaceuticals and steel. आत्मनिर्भर भारत के 5 स्तंभ हैं। फर्स्ट इज इकोनॉमी, अर्थव्यवस्था, जो कि वृद्धिशील परिवर्तन, इंक्रीमेंटल चेंज के स्थान पे क्वांटम जंप, एक बड़ी छलांग के पर आधारित हो, इस तरह की हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था हो। अवसंरचना दैट इज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, ऐसी अवसंरचना जो आधुनिक भारत की पहचान बने। थर्ड पॉइंट इज टेक्नोलॉजी, प्रौद्योगिकी। 21st सेंचुरी में जो प्रौद्योगिक संचालित व्यवस्था है उसमें हमें सेल्फ रिलायंट होना है। नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज गतिशील जनसांख्यिकी, वाइब्रेंट डेमोग्राफी, जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए ऊर्जा का स्रोत रहे। और मांग, डिमांड, भारत की मांग और आपूर्ति श्रृंखला की पूरी क्षमता का उपयोग किया जाना। आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने काफी अनुदान भी घोषित किया है। इसमें 20 लाख करोड़ रुपए का पैकेज, जो कि भारत के सकल घरेलू उत्पाद, ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट का 10% के बराबर है, इसकी घोषणा की गई है। और इससे साथ ही एक क्रेडिट गारंटी स्कीम शुरू की गई है, जिसमें कि मेन फोकस है माइक्रो, स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइज पे। एमएसएमईज की परिभाषा में भी चेंज लाई गई है। एनआईटीज का रोल आत्मनिर्भर में भारत में क्या हो सकता है? मुझे लगता है कि अगर हमारे देश में देखा जाए तो आईआईटीज और एनआईटीज ये नवाचार, इनोवेशन और रिसर्च के स्तंभ हैं। तो अगर देश को आगे बढ़ना है तो हमारे जितने भी एनआईटीज हैं, आईआईटीज हैं और हायर एजुकेशन के जो संस्थान हैं, उनको साथ में आकर के देश की जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, जो भी आम आदमी की प्रॉब्लम है या जो कंट्री में जो भी प्रॉब्लम है, उनके तकनीकी टेक्नोलॉजिकल सॉल्यूशन प्रोवाइड करने में हमें आगे आना होगा। द एनआईटीज हैज टू कम एज ए टेक्नोलॉजिकल सॉल्यूशन टू द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द पीपल। इसमें एनआईटी जालंधर के मैं कुछ इनिशिएटिव आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करूंगा। एनआईटी जालंधर हैज एस्टेब्लिश्ड द टेक्नोलॉजी बिजनेस इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर विद द हेल्प ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी। और इसमें हमारे 19 नए जो स्टार्टअप हैं वो रजिस्टर हुए हैं और इन्होंने काम करना शुरू किया है यहाँ जालंधर से। पहले ऐसा कोई प्रावधान संस्थान में नहीं था, तो ये एक नया इनिशिएटिव है जिसमें कि हम एक सुदृढ़ भारत के लिए कंट्रीब्यूट कर पाएंगे। दूसरा, हमने एक स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी बिजनेस इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर एस्टेब्लिश किया है, जिसमें कि इसरो से 2 से 3 करोड़ पर वर्ष की बजट हमें मिलेगा और इसमें भी हमारे अभी तक 15-16 प्रोजेक्ट रजिस्टर हुए हैं, जिसमें से कि 10 प्रोजेक्ट के लिए ऑलमोस्ट 1 करोड़ रुपया हमें स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी इनोवेशन सेंटर में मिला है। और एनआईटी जालंधर ने इस वर्ष को वर्ष ऑफ इनोवेशन, एक नवाचार का वर्ष और पेटेंटिंग का वर्ष के रूप में इसको हम मना रहे हैं। अभी तक संस्थान ने 30 पेटेंट डिजाइन रजिस्टर किए गए हैं और हम इन सब पेटेंट्स को कमर्शियलाइज करने में भी पूरी तरह से अपना कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और इसी में हाल ही में हमने 4 टेक्नोलॉजीज को ट्रांसफर कर दिया है। जो मेन हमारे पेटेंट्स इनोवेशंस रही हैं वो है इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑफ स्ट्रक्चरल कोरिलेशंस एट डाइलेक्ट्रिक एंड मैग्नेटिक ऑर्डरिंग इन ट्रांजिशन मेटल ऑक्साइड, स्टडी ऑफ हायर ऑर्डर iterative method for solving nonlinear equations, design and synthesis of V carboline waste theoretical potential, drawing of polymer solvent coating experiments and simulation, study of wet to wet coating for railway coaches, experimental investigations on tower type hybrid vapor compressor, nature inspired smart surface with extreme wettability for separation and solute transport, development of reduced order models for large scale system, fluctuations and correlation, study of some inequalities involving means movement, waste utilization in self compacting concrete, optimization, study of generalized transverse momentum dependent distribution, many body correlations, air purifier. Many such initiatives have been taken, and these out of these initiatives, 4 initiatives have been commercialized. The technology transfer on September 1, 2020 to Mr. Digitech Control and System Pune for design and development of robotic modular transport system. Technology transfer on May 29th of patent to High Safe Electronics Corporation Chandigarh for development and commercialization of innovative air purifier. Technology transfer on June 6 for patent to Ucomex Company, Vadodara, Gujarat for development and commercialization of UV-based surface disinfector. Technology transfer to Messrs. Singla, Angrez, Ghaziabad and Meditex Industries Jalandhar on patent filed for breathable filter fabric for usable face mask. You can see during the pandemic only, you can see how Indian market has grown, and this can be seen by observing that India has become second country in production of face mask. There was no such initiative 5-6 months back, and now we have topped it. So it is the innovation, Navachar and Anusandhan, that is the research, which are the 2 wheels which can make the country a developed country. तो इसमें हमें मेनली अपनी कृषि और खेती में नवाचार के लिए हम तकनीकी इजाद कर सकते हैं अपने एनआईटीज में। कुटीर उद्योगों में सामग्री बनाना व अपनाना, ये वोकल फॉर लोकल इज अनदर इनिशिएटिव। आत्मनिर्भर बनकर घरेलू चीजों का उपयोग, आपदा को अवसर में बदलने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री जी का आह्वान। तो इन सब चीजों से मुझे लगता है कि काफी हद तक एनआईटी जालंधर ने नई इनोवेशन शुरू की हैं और पीपी किट, वेंटिलेटर, मास्क, सैनिटाइजर, यूवी सरफेस सैनिटाइजर, ये सब तकनीकी इसी कोविड के दौरान पेटेंट भी की गई हैं और कमर्शियलाइज भी हुई हैं। So we can, all NITs can come together and along with the IITs, and we can then contribute for the development of country for making it self-reliant. On the other side, after 34 years, I would like to congratulate Shri Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji for new education policy. और न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी का जो मेन फोकस है दैट इज ऑन होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. And there have been many parts of this education policy. I'll just sum up them in a minute. We'll have the academic bank of credit, multiple entry and multiple exit points in institutions of higher education, focus on multiple disciplines, collaboration with foreign players, joint degree program with foreign universities, flexible credit transfer policy, starting of BTech program in data science and artificial intelligence, development of arts and other fields of students, common entrance examination for all institutions of higher learning, financial support to the student, and motivated, energized, and capable faculty members, integrated research programs, the new big universities which will be focusing not only on a particular area as has been done in most of the NITs, IITs, but they'll be having almost all the branches or fields of study, maybe arts, science, and law, management, medical, all under one roof. So these are the universities which will be coming up in New India under this policy. There have been a committee of deans which has deliberated that how this new education policy can be implemented in NIT Jalandhar, and we have taken small steps in implementing new education policy. Starting from we have this introduction of minor degree program. So previously the program which a student takes was very rigid, and if he takes BTech in mechanical engineering, he is not allowed to study the courses from other branch. Now and at NIT Jalandhar, a student can take minor degree in computer science along with his major degree in mechanical. So such kind of initiative has been taken. There is an initiative under which we allow the students to take online courses. Approximately 20% of the courses a student can take from SWAYAM portal online. So digital education is another initiative where the faculty members are contributing also, and from where the students are getting benefited. The committee has deliberated on multiple entry and multiple exit point in NIT system, and this can be easily implemented, that the academic bank of credits that can be maintained across all NITs, IITs on the first step, and then those credits can be transferred to the other NITs, IITs. So because the entry is through a common test to all the NITs, IITs, I think the first step can be that we start this scheme in all the NITs, IITs, where a student after first year of exit is given a certificate course. After second year, he can be given diploma. After fourth year, he can be given a degree program. We can think whether degree can be given after third year also, because at NIT Jalandhar we had deliberated, and we have seen that if we identify a typical class of student, we find that 30% of the students are fast in learning, and then rest we get a chunk which is a common learner, and then we get a small chunk which are not that good learner. So there have been deliberation that can this program, we have a flexible program that those who are the fast learners, for them it can be for 3 years, and for others it can be for 4 years, and then for slow learners, it can be for 5 years. So that kind of deliberation can take. In MTech also, after first year, we can offer the PG diploma for all the courses, because the student may have to discontinue, and his academic achievements can be stored in this academic credit bank, and then we can use it later on. For looking at having made available the arts, the law, and other kind of education to engineering students, most of the NITs, IITs have management departments, but they are not that strengthened that they can offer all these programs. So for management studies, definitely the student can take the courses in-house. But after that, other than that, we need to allow them to take maybe 10%, 15% of the courses online from the other universities of higher learning, maybe law university, maybe medical institute, or maybe a good arts education. The collaboration with foreign universities, or to start joint programs, this is already there in many of the NITs, IITs, and we have also taken initiative at NIT Jalandhar. We have signed MOU with University of Florence. We have signed the MOU with the University of Missouri, Kansas. We have also signed MOU with universities from France, and we can have joint programs offered from these. Also, the institute, as has been given in that policy, we have started a post BTech 1 year job oriented diploma for this student, and we can make it online as well because of the facilities which we have. So I think collective efforts at the national level are required for bridging the gap whatsoever there have been. You can see the institutions are doing a lot of contribution at NIT Jalandhar. I'm glad to share with you, the faculty has published more than 500 peer-reviewed journal publications in less than a year, and this is the case with most of the NITs, IITs. Now, the only thing is that if this 10% of these research initiatives are converted into products, they are converted into the products which can be used for agriculture or water, energy, or whatever the problem the country is facing. I think there is no problem in making this country self-reliant, and the new education policy can act as a wheel for achieving this target of self-reliant India. And with this word, I acknowledge Shri Atul Kothari ji, and I acknowledge Shri S.C. Ralan ji, Shri Chandrasekhar ji, और सभी NIT के निदेशकों का धन्यवाद, और जय हिंद, जय भारत.
Thank you, sir, for the stimulating advice. So now I would like to invite the session 1 panelist. The session 1 is role of NITs to make India as Aatma Nirbhar. So we consider it a very special honor to welcome our chief guest for this session, Shri S.C. Ralan ji, Honorable Chairman BOG NIT Jalandhar, Professor Anupam Basu, Director NIT Durgapur, Professor Vibhuti Bhushan Biswal, Director NIT Meghalaya, Professor Pradeep Kumar Jain, Director NIT Patna, Professor Shyamlal Soni, Director NIT Uttarakhand, Professor C.S.P. Rao, Director NIT Andhra Pradesh, and Professor Rajiv Tripathi, Director NIT Allahabad. Shri S.C. Ralan ji, we can start with Shri S.C. Ralan ji.
Thank you. Very good morning to all of you and the very, very good intelligentsia of the country and my NIT professors and all the staff. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the Institute for holding panel discussion on the role of NIT to make India Aatma. I hope today we'll have the fruitful deliberations and productive outcome. This is something a very new subject for me, how the NITs can be helpful in making the Atmanirbhar. Lot of issues already taken up by Dr. Vasti, our director. There is no doubt that India has a strong potential to become Atmanirbhar, which is evident from the fact that the Galwan Valley skirmish on 15th June 2020, Chinese exports of India has fallen by 25% as compared to the same period in 2019, as per the reports of the Government of China Customs. But lot of efforts needs to be done as India imports almost $75 billion. This is a huge amount worth of goods every year from China, to the extent that parts of Indian industry are dependent on China. If not curtailed, it can be a major threat to the sovereignty of India in the future. India is totally dependent on China regarding the machine parts, auto parts, some of the electronic parts and the chemicals. Of course, Government of India has taken a number of steps to its effort to make the nation self-reliant and independent. As MSME are the backbone for the economic development of any country, government announced many reforms for the MSME to strengthen this sector. The Finance Minister announced the creation of Fund for Funds with a corpus of 10,000 crores, where the government through these funds will pick up the equity stake of the MSME with growth potential and viability. Government has revised the definition of MSME and we are thankful to the Government of India. Under new definition, the manufacturing and service enterprise with investment up to 1 crore and turnover up to 5 crore will be classified as micro, which it used to be the small scale industry. To help Indian businessmen scale government global tenders in the government procurement up to 200 crores. This is again a very good step by the Government of India. Government has planned to provide e-market linkage for MSME. E-market will be promoted as a replacement for trade fairs, exhibitions. Fintech will be used to enhance the transaction-based lending using the data generated by e-marketplace. Further, government has assured that MSME receivable from the Government of India, central government, public sector enterprise will be released within 45 days. I hope this act is implemented in 100% accuracy. There are still a lot of hindrances in that. Coming to the role of premium institutions like NITs in the country in the making India Atmanirbhar, it is a time for India's such top technology institutes of repute to take some purposeful and radical steps so as to become a role model for the academic for successful driving innovation from the universities to commercialization. Like Dr. Avasti has already said about the NIT Jalandhar, that they have been very successful and they are already using the new development for the use of the industry. Coming to the role of the premium institute, well, NIT can help entrepreneurs by lending them the use of lab equipment that smaller companies may not be able to afford. You are right, it can, at the small MSME units, they do not have that level of the labs which normally the NITs have. It will be a very good step. There is a need to develop wider and longer term relationship with industry along with the student research projects, internships, etc. That will provide a way to build trust and a better understanding of each other. This will certainly help at least to use all your innovations for the use in the industry. The institute should provide incentives for the faculty to promote patents, technology transfer, and other commercialization activities. Academic institutions have focused mostly on training their students in skills that are required in larger companies. Atmanirbhar Bharat that has brought the country's focus onto the MSME, one of the key driving forces towards the self-sufficiency. After all, they constitute almost 65 to 70% of the workforce in the Indian industry. Ignoring this sector would be a lost opportunity. Training of the students in the MSME should be promoted. There is a need to form research teams of educators with the industry professionals for a given length of time to work on integrative research. The team of educators would gain new knowledge and ideas that they can bring back to the classroom, and being part of such an academic environment, students could gain technical experience in all these areas. Special attention needs to be paid by the NITs to strengthen the bond with their alumni. Alumni can act as a mentors to the new graduates from their alma maters. Those who are specialists in their field and leading innovations in their jobs can help the institutes to advance their R&D capabilities. They can share their knowledge earned in the field with both students and faculty. In the line with the vision of the future of work, students need to be trained for jobs and do not exist today but will be in the demand in the future. As India moves towards self-reliance, it is only needs to be built on its industrial strength, but also tap the power of the industry to build the workforce of the tomorrow. It also needs its academic institutions to help the country live up to the ideal of the Reliance by creating a workforce that is innovative, aware of the ground realities, and ready to face the future. Combining the two forces would bring about the changes in the midst of the expertise required for the nation to achieve Atmanirbhar. Thank you very much. Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. So I would now like to invite Professor Anupam Basu, Director NIT Durgapur.
Good afternoon, a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm really grateful to have been invited in this very important seminar. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I won't take much time because there are so many speakers, and I'm sure everybody has got a number of thoughts to share. I'd just like to start with the point that we need a paradigm shift in our attitude. The paradigm shift is needed in terms of evaluating the achievements of our researchers. Still today, first of all said and done, let me once again enunciate that NITs, although they are very important pillars in Atmanirbharata of Bharat, NITs are always not given that much importance compared to IITs, I'd say. That often defeats the morale of some of the researchers who really try hard. The paradigm shift that I'm talking of is the evaluation of faculty members are mostly done not only inside the institute but also outside, by the number of papers they have published. And consequently, I find that this has created an epidemic of production of papers. On the other hand, some of the people who really devote their time to translate an idea into a product and then take it to some MSME and get it productized from alpha to beta and then to product version, they patent it. That is less recognized as an academic achievement here. One of the major requirements for Atmanirbharata of India is, one of the important requirements is being self-reliant in the area of materials. I have myself faced that I have to depend on a lot of materials to be imported, and then only I can translate the idea into a product. On the other hand, when I just browse through most of the publications of NIT, Durgapur has got a fantastic material science and metallurgy department, but most of the publications, because the publications are facilitated by that, are through characterizations of materials, new materials you characterize. That's also important. But when I want to have a particular material, I don't find that is available in India. This is something that we really need. We must have places where we can get materials. Similarly, for chemicals and other things. So the main paradigm, one point is paradigm shift in, giving respect to product design. The other point is translation of the ideas to products. One thing that we can and NITs should do is to take the thing bottom up. Bottom up in the sense, we have to identify what are the problems that we need to solve in the country immediately. For that, the NIT students can be encouraged, and we have started a scheme at NIT Durgapur for that they should go to the villages, they should go to the different companies and see where the shoe pinches. And from there, they come up and start solving those problems. And in that, particularly, I'll emphasize on rural communities, that if we can connect ourselves to the rural communities and can make them Atmanirbhar, then that whatever they need, they can get locally with the help of the closest NIT in the closest proximity. That will be very helpful. So that is something that we need to do. And also in the curriculum, as Dr. Ralhan had said, and also Dr. Avasthi has said, that in the curriculum we need to really have a change of attitude, that so many credits completed vis-a-vis what have you learned and what have you translated. That is something we have to really think about, because often in AICT meetings and other things, we are concerned with the number of credits and how we'll fill up the number of credits. Of course, we are discussing also how we can have the students doing project in their final semester. All those things are there, but we just are lacking somewhere. We are lacking the translation part of the whole thing. That is a must. And for that, that translation, it is difficult, I know, but that is a necessary step that we must take for making India self-reliant. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. So I would now like to invite Professor Bibhuti Bhushan Biswal, Director, NIT Meghalaya.
Very good morning to all of you. I think I'm audible to...
Good morning, good morning. Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Respected Mr. S. Ralanji, Chairman, Board of Governors, NIT Jalandhar, respected Chandrasekhar ji, Board of Governor Chairman, NIT Hamirpur, Adharaniya Atul Kothari Sahab, my colleagues from various NITs, faculty of NIT Jalandhar, participants. At the outset, I should like to express my thankfulness to the Director NIT Jalandhar and his team for providing me a forum to discuss and put forth different views for a very, very important topic of the present time and giving me an opportunity to be a part of this elite group. The present situation has in fact accelerated some of our thoughts and actions. I can divide the time into two different regimes, the pre-COVID and post-COVID time. It is very distinct at the moment. And considering the situation, Narendra Modi ji started the initiative of Aatma Nirbhar Bharat with a motive to address the basic issue of abysmally low market demand and economic slowdown induced by the COVID-19 crisis. The thrust is to make India Atmanirbhar and resilient in both normal and crisis times. The Atmanirbhar is not only for this crisis time, but to make us stand on our own for the future as well. Under this scenario, the educational institutes started focusing on thinking out of the box to meet the challenges of digital revolution and embracing entrepreneurship, critical thinking skills, and problem-solving skills as a part of the academic experience, as well as creating cultures where innovative thinking is nurtured. The challenge didn't end here. Institutes like NITs are also planning to adequate steps to prepare all students for a rapidly changing job market and to make them industry ready and self-reliant as well. They must ensure that the talent from the diverse global community has access to opportunities in the new era of digitization. Since the Atmanirbhar Bharat has become a mantra for everyone, universities are also urging students to showcase their talent by developing Indian apps in different categories under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Innovate Challenge. As far as the role of institutes are concerned, there are many kinds of things which can be taken up, adapted, and practiced. In the pro-COVID-19 era, academic institutions have put attention on training their students in skills that are required in larger companies. You go to any institute, any university, or when the students are seeking admission to any institute, they first look at what is the placement statistics of the institute. How many students get placed at the end of the study, at the end of the course. That is the prime motivation and under which people get admitted or go for studies to different institutes. But with Atmanirbhar Bharat, the initiative has brought the country's focus to industries to one of the key driving forces towards self-sufficiency. And industries in India, to my knowledge, constitute 80% of the workforce. Ignoring this sector would be a lost opportunity, and in developing nations, industries have engaged with academia by investing in research and innovation, and a relationship that benefits both institutions and industry. And students need to be trained accordingly for jobs that will be in demand in the future. Innovation is a buzzword at the moment. Universities have taken up the challenge of finding innovative solutions to the problems raised by COVID-19. With the help of artificial intelligence, industrial IoT, the universities are working to transform a village into a smart village so that the residents of the village can also avail all the facilities that will enable them to grow. If you look at the global scenario, the institutes, particularly the public funded ones, have been called upon to demonstrate their value and their impact on society. There is an increased push for them to play a more definitive role in addressing societal challenges and economic development. Students are also increasingly looking to gain practical learning and industry experience from applied research. These changes are being reflected in the recent global ranking of the universities. While India has made great strides in its science and technology education, it's not a matter of pride to say that no Indian university features in the list thus far. It is clear that we are yet to make a significant impact in the direction of developing and driving new ideas for commercialization from a higher education system. The good news is that our Prime Minister has started the mission of Aatma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and it can provide a clarion call to the iconic technology institutes and universities to reimagine the role of Indian universities in helping spur innovation and competitiveness, especially for its small business. It would require a mindset change in mindset. And we need to leapfrog the development process and establish an institutional model that results in a steady flow of new ideas, innovation, and commercialization. We need to revitalize and focus on industries. The institutions in the country have long been major agents, and in the larger economy and in society, brought about through knowledge, generation, and transfer, and so far, the academic institutions are focused mostly on training of their students in skills that are required in larger companies. In fact, it is the corporate sector that drove the rapid growth of economies, such as those of South Korea, Japan, Singapore, by driving innovation at the local level. In advanced countries across the world, industries have engaged with academia by investing in research and innovation, that a relationship that can benefit both institutions.
Excuse me, sir. So we are running out of time, so if you can conclude, please.
So actually, we need to establish so many setups as Professor Avasthi has mentioned. For NIT Jalandhar, they have collaborated with many industries. Similarly, we need to do something beyond the classroom training, teaching, learning method, and do collaborate with industries, do collaborate with alumni, and think out of box. Motivate our students to take up, different projects, develop, products of their own through the innovation center. The institutes must facilitate the practice of innovation, must facilitate the act of incubation, and make people realize that yes, we are here, we can also do something. When Make in India Abhiyan started in India, I was thinking Why make in India? Why not design in India? It should be design and make in India. We cannot borrow from others and only manufacture that here in India. We can design our own products for our own society and for the society at large, so far as the global market is concerned, and to manufacture that here. So it should be design and manufacture in India rather than only make in India. So with this, I can think of, in summary, I would say, because I had a lot of things to tell, but the time is running out. As government funding for R&D is decreasing more and more, the private sector funding may become a critical factor, and we must collaborate with them. And we must, ask them to fund technologies, but also validate the university ability to advance science, invent new technologies, and power new markets and industries. In summary, it is time for India's top technology institutes and universities that are a role model in academia to take some purposeful and radical step in defining models for successfully driving innovation from universities to commercialization. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You have a good idea. Just 1 minute, Anand. You have a very good idea for design India. But that requires a lot of funds. That is the problem.
I said that we need to collaborate with corporates. We need to collaborate with alumni to take their support, and we can always go for
We'll think about that. We'll think about that. We'll discuss with Dr. Avasthi. Thank you.
Ideation to product development, we must have the complete life cycle
Thank you.
engagement.
Thank you. Please.
Thank you, sir. So I would now like to invite Professor Pradeep Kumar Jain, Director, NIT Patna.
Thank you.
So you can take 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, I will try.
Thank you, sir.
Very good morning, Sri Atul Kothari ji, National Secretary, Shiksha Sanskriti Uttyan Nyas, Sri S.C. Lalhan ji, Chairman BOG NIT Jalandhar, Professor Chandrasekhar ji, Chairman BOG NIT Hamirpur, my fellow directors and the other participants. First, let me thank the organizer and especially Professor Lalit Avasthi ji for giving me opportunity to share my thought among this elite audience. The NIT's role towards making India Aatma if we look to the National Education Policy 2020, it has conveyed the major structural change in education system with aim to make India Aatma the global knowledge superpower, ensuring equity and inclusion to every citizen of India. Aatma Bharat is the heart of our new national education policy in the field of higher education that involves restructuring of the whole system with the aim of ensuring wide range of educational opportunity. This includes curriculum, pedagogy, recreational opportunity, etc. The policy is designed to avoid segregation and isolation of ethnic and linguistic minorities and those with disabilities, and also with those who face learning difficulties due to various reasons. We make sense to the world through language, and this creates and recreates power, authority, and also legitimation. So we have to see the skill development. That is one of the major challenges we have to take, we NIT. So in professional courses like engineering, what we usually impart, we have to focus more on students' skill development, it is equally rather more important to make a student learn life skill when they complete their schooling and to come to us. And by the time they come out from the NITs or IITs or engineering institution, they should feel self-reliant themselves. They should not look for the job, rather they should look for the, well, we should make them entrepreneur. By including these contemporary subjects, vocational courses and extracurricular activities, we can fill this type of confidence in them, and we have to in them, we have to motivate their courses like a graduation research. But of course, more time has to be given to their research project, research work, and inspire students to develop critical thinking and creativity on sustained research and regular assessment by we educational experts. Promotion of high quality research will uplift the society, and exclusion from inclusion will be done through a new knowledge system. And so under this NEP also include the research capability and output across disciplines. The societal changes could be addressed only through this high quality interdisciplinary research across the field. Enough has been said by my previous speakers. So the very best research in the world has occurred only through the multidisciplinary research university settings. We have to closely follow that. And if we see just to cut short my discussion, if we see the NIT's role and our vision towards that, to transform NIT into a world-class technical institute, we should not only be known for our teaching, but we should also serve as a research and innovation hub for the industries, research organization, as well as for society. Besides developing quality human resource, we NITs must contribute in the growth and development of nation and our society. So we have to focus more towards skill development, towards innovation, towards entrepreneurship, so that when students comes out, he does not look for industry, he does not look for a job, rather he should look for the startup, and we should try that this startup originates from the institute level itself. So good. Plan for development for NITs, that our curriculum, of course, already it is there, but we should give more emphasis in learning-based curriculum, make the systematic review and updating the syllabus more towards our innovation and entrepreneurship, modernization of our laboratory toward this direction. We should provide students access of tinkering lab as soon as they enter our institute, so that they should not be just bounded in a boundary of that particular department or a particular institute. They can come out from the particular institute by using the SWAYAM, MOOC, Moodle and NKM based courses. They can increase their horizon, and we as a academician, we have to strictly monitor our academic program closely. So apart from this, the environment for research and innovation, so we have to mandatory and regular involvement of faculty is also required in the skill development. So presently, no doubt, there are a lot of faculty development programs of 5 days are there, but they are not serving the purpose for which it was designed. So we should send our faculty for their skill development for a larger period, maybe a few months, to the associated industries, where there are sufficient number of alumni are working in those contemporary industries. We should try to make a linkage with them, and we should try, and our faculty should regularly visit them and spend more time. And as our other colleagues have discussed, that only mandatory requirement of publication, which is there as a part of MTech and PhD programs, we should also do something like a technology development. We should encourage that, and we should give due weightage for this. And we should also encourage and mentor the sponsored research to promote this. And for which we have to build infrastructure to our institute, and those infrastructure has to share among the institutes. So we should develop at every institute. Of course, they are there, central instrument facility. So those has to be strengthened, and more facility has to be added to this instrumentation center of every NITs. Just looking at what facilities are missing at other NITs, we should try to develop those particular facility in our institute, so that using facility to different NITs, we can do the various jobs, various research work, instead of duplicating it, because these facilities are very costly. So for comprehensive development towards innovation, we should focus on industry, regional and local technological needs. For incubation, we have to nurture the entrepreneurs in tune with Startup India. We have to involve our alumni and industry experts in teaching, learning, and research and innovation.
Excuse me.
We have to collaborate. Yes, 2 minutes more.
Okay, so we are already running out of time.
Okay.
Okay.
We have to collaborate for national and international academia and research. So for this purpose, we have to form a strategy for improvement towards the shaping our students through learning-based curriculum, imparting quality teaching and monitoring, environment for research and innovation, regular program for faculty and staff development, and concentrated plan for our infrastructure development. Due to shortage of time, I will cut short my thought and will stop here. And if time permits, we'll discuss in the end. So
Thank
with
you,
this
sir.
few
Thank
words,
you.
and we will try to see, and we are sure that our new education policy has got an impact. And if we make our concentrated effort, we'll make our Bharat Aatma, and that is our role towards society and making India self-reliant. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir. So it is requested if you can include in your discussion the initiatives taken to implement Aatma Nirbhar Bharat at your respective NIT. So I would now like to invite Professor Shyamlal Soni, Director NIT Uttarakhand.
Good noon to everybody. The chairman of NIT Hamirpur, Sri Chandrasekhar ji, the director who invited me, Professor Avasti ji, thankful to you for inviting me, my fellow directors, other dignitaries, and I am not giving more than 5 minutes presentation because the time is running short, so I'll give like that. Okay, so I'll just speak it now. what is role of NITs to make India as Atmanirbhar? We want to make our country Atmanirbhar, and we are the key personalities to do it. Institutions like NITs are key performer because of having 50% students from the state in which it is running, 50% students from the other side. So we can do better for that state, and that state will definitely be progressing. And for self-reliance, there is a concern for the whole world to become happy, cooperation and peaceful. We are going through the rockets, launchers, which are the advanced in all over world. We are going for peacefulness of this, and then what we can do, we can make our institutes very good helper for agricultural development. And today's important talk is of toys industry. We are importing toys from China and other countries which are not at all suitable for us because they can contain some harmful composition in the toys. For agriculture sectors, we need to develop more advanced and supportive tools, technology to make the farming easier, cheaper as well as faster. In comparison to all other institutes, NITs are in a better position to contribute in this direction. We have to understand the basic need problems targeting to the local people, farmers. For example, the crop, forest residue problems. The residue problem is burning like parali. Then in our area we have fire of the forest, and that is the biggest problem here. They burn it, and whole of the hill contains fire all around it. And to avoid it, we have to think of it. What can be done is, we can make some useful products from this, like AC biosar, absorbent, fuel, catalyst, soil amendment, additives. These are used products. The leaves are there in our area. Hilly area is having lot of vegetations, and every year when the Patjhad is coming, there are lot of leaves coming down, and these are going waste. We can collect these leaves and can do a lot. We can make the pellets. These pellets can be used as a fuel. We can use for transportation. We can use for household purposes. Replacement of coal is also there for this. So development of new industry creating employment for the local residents all over the hilly areas will be one of the main criteria. It can be locally manufactured, stored, transported and utilized in remote areas as per our needs. Can be prepared from leaves, grass and etc. It will avoid the problem of forest fires, which is very serious issue from environmental point of view. Local choice for hilly region. At high altitude, the open space can be utilized for generation of energy throughout the year, like the wind energy. We have 5 largest wind farm and mill parks in India. One is Mupakndal wind farm, Kanyakumari. Second is at Jaisalmer. I have seen it personally. Then we have Brahma Naval wind farm, Dhule, Maharashtra. Then we have farm in Odisha. We have farm in Karnataka. We can make it here in Uttarakhand also, which is our native state, and which is the place hoping many things to be done for the localites, because they are coming down from the hills, they are migrating to other states and plain areas because of problem in the financial settlement of it. So we can deploy at the highest level of the hills, so which will be very much economic and can be used for all of the areas. As our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Ji Modi has given the concept about the mega plan of one sun, one world, one grid, or a transnational electricity grid supplying solar power across the globe. The emphasis thrust areas to be focused are solar energy materials, solar energy devices for user with direct load application, storage devices, power electronics for grid synchronization, capacity building to create critical mass for solar energy research, development of systems, subsystems for solar photovoltaic, solar thermal, storage, smart energy grid, and building energy efficiency. Convergent solar thermal technology solutions are also there, and we have convergent solar product photovoltaic technology issues. What is there? We are having the highest efficiency of a solar cell as at the most 22%, but generally it is 15%. Can we develop some technology by which we can increase it because it's available free of cost all over the world? Second thing, the material used for the solar grids or solar cells are very costly. Can we reduce the cost with the same efficiency? That's to be considered. In our case, we are having a Center for Environmental Sustainability of Himalaya region. We already conveyed this to ministry. I am thankful to our Honorable Minister of Education, Sri Ramesh Pokhriyal ji, for giving his consent to open a center. This will be having wide range of scientific and engineering disciplines. Abundant natural resources are available. Center will promote environmental sustainability and development in Himalayas. New materials for energy harvesting and storage. We will be having development of herbal products based startups. This will be helpful for the localites because they are having small villages and big farms. These farms can be used for their income and they will come back to their place rather than going without any money, without any houses out of the state. So it will, that pandemic and teaching, this is one of the way which are there for ourselves also. Improving teaching, learning and evaluation process, it has helped us. Supporting teachers, professors and professional development, enhancing educational accesses, educational planning, virtual labs, management administration, admissions, attendance, assessments, etc. This is all because of this pandemic and we are going online in our courses. We have to focus on priority areas such as healthcare technology, chemicals, energy, agriculture and allied sectors, advanced technology related to defense and space research, toy industries, Aatma education. Just it's all gone. Innovation and design, entrepreneurial mindset, supporting local industry, judicious expeditions of the natural resources. We can go for innovation, incubation and startup. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sorry
So
for the delay.
like to, no, we are already running out of time, so we are so very sorry for interrupting.
I am in the end, and that's why I am getting lesser time. Those who did first are getting more time. This happens everywhere. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Sahab, and everybody to listen me peacefully. Govil sir is also sitting with us. Thank you, Govil sir. Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay, can I talk in one sentence?
Yes, sir.
You should plan in such a way so that everybody expresses his views so that they can be used. Every time I am seeing, if you are running short of time, then why you are organized two in one? Okay, please go ahead.
Bola, sir. Sir, I would now like to invite Professor C.S.P. Rao, Director, NIT, Andhra Pradesh.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
My pronouns to Atul Kothari ji, National Secretary, Sri Subhash Chandra Rahan ji, Honorable Chairperson, BOG NIT Jalandhar, Professor L.K. Avasthi, Director, NIT Jalandhar, and all other invited directors for online and the stakeholders of NIT Jalandhar. A very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I thank Sri Avasthi ji for giving me this opportunity to present my thoughts on Aatma Nirbhar Bharat and its role in NITs. It's very difficult to talk at as the last speaker because 98% of the subject is already presented here and only left could be 1 or 2% for me to cover. It's very, very difficult. In spite of that, I'll try to squeeze myself for 5 to 6 minutes of time. Dahiaji, you may be happy for this. Okay. This Aatma Bharat, we all know this. It's being announced by Sri Narendra Modi ji, our Prime Minister. It's another scheme or new version of Make in India. I feel like this, and it's nurturing the skills of India and its preparedness for being self-reliant. Modi ji has also announced 10% of almost a grant to the tune of 20 lakh crores, which is equivalent to 10% of the India's GDP. This scheme aims to cater to the needs of urban migrants, industrial sectors, and poor people. It also encourages steps to ease living and offer affordable yet dignified life to all the needy. The critical situation of the pandemic COVID-19, when international national movements of goods and services are prohibited, India showed the independent skill of manufacturing PPE kits by transforming from 0 to 1.5 lakh kits per day, which demonstrated the potentiality of the sector and the capability of self-reliant India. India has become a role model in making HCQ tablets and export to any part of the world, which shows self-reliant capability in the pharma industry. In 1991, just recall, when late Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao was there was a fiscal crisis and BOP crisis and hyperinflation, which led to the announcement of LPG policy, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. LPG policy, which is also called as New Industrial Revolution policy. Because of that, several MNCs have come into India, and a lot of foreign reserves have been increased, and a lot of jobs have been created in India. Now the new NEP 2020 and Aatma policies closely related to one another are aimed to make India skillful, Aatma and offers every chance to make India a global leader. At this backdrop, I sincerely appreciate the efforts taken by NIT authorities, NIT Jalandhar authorities for conducting to deliberate on a program on the role of NITs to make India Aatma. This is very important for discussion in HIs. The focal point of Aatma Bharat is to make self-reliant nation. Though our Honorable Finance Minister says that the 5 pillars for this Aatma Bharat, such as economy, demography, techno-driven systems, infrastructure, and demand. Government India has also indicated 12 sectors, including auto components, textile, industrial machinery, furniture, food processing, organic farming, iron, copper, aluminum industries, agrochemicals, pharma, and leather industries for the self-reliant skills. The higher education institutions have enough potential to contribute to the economy, techno-driven systems, and infrastructure. The knowledge of and systematic work practice of academicians will not only help to understand global demand, but also help provide indigenous ways of forecasting the demand and ready to give solutions. Hence, the role of NITs in this regard is very, very significant. As we understand the address of our Honorable Prime Minister for self-reliant India does not mean cutting off from rest of the world, but we have to become self-reliant as and when or wherever it is feasible and possible. It is to ensure India can emerge as a global nerve center of complex modern multinational supply chain. You just compare Singapore, how the Singapore has grown. It is not at all a manufacturing hub, but it is maintaining the supply chain well. Hence, we have to get every opportunity and convert that into a facility and for further growth of this for growth of our country. Paradigm shift in curriculum design for integrating institutions to boost Aatma Bharat through the effective implementation of NEP 2020 shall be charted out. Multidisciplinary programs, certified courses to achieve global goals, and the scheme shall be framed and executed. Integration of different engineering disciplines to work with a central objective shall be encouraged. Special programs to benefit rural India, which is brimming with plenty of skills that are underutilized, will be undertaken in a phased manner. NEP inspired entrepreneurs approach in student institutional level mind changes to boost Aatma must be promoted. There are certain steps and strategies for implementation of these. I would like to remind you a non-cooperation movement launched by Mahatma Gandhi ji to boycott foreign goods in 1920. We are now once again connected to global commerce and have good chances of leading the world. It is imperative that we revisit the freedom struggle. Thus, non-violent methods of Gandhiji will forever continue to offer guidance for Indians. Atmanirbhar is another call by Modi ji for a self-reliant India. For example, you take China. China had huge investments in India. As you know, the chairman said about this, it initiated startups as Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Big Basket, Udaan, Policy Bazaar. In 2018, Alibaba invested $216 million on online grocery Big Basket, $21 million in food delivery app Zomato. Tencent has $400 million share on Ola, and huge amount was invested in Paytm and Byju's. Paytm invested is almost crossing 45% of it. It is alarming and harmful if the investment of these foreign countries crosses 50% of the share, and automatically because they get the decision-making power. And what has happened if British India for invasion on India? Similar kind of thing may affect if we go on increase in the foreign investment here. The L&T is one industry we have to appreciate, all of us have to appreciate. It has cut down the dependency on Chinese product. L&T firmly stands on policy of making India to develop local manufacturing and construct ecosystems in producing efficient and cost-effective substitutes for global markets. Practice local for local, facilitating the purchase of academic and research equipment, materials from the indigenous products. And particularly the training equipment we can fabricate in India, and we can install in all the institutes in India for better training of Indian students. Outlets and shops inside NITs must be permitted to sell products made in India. This is one kind of Swadeshi movement. And farmers from the region shall be allotted portions to install some kind of stalls for being set up inside the campuses of NITs. Library books must also be equipped to print in India only. And such kind of steps we can take to boost the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and which will inculcate the culture and a kind of practice for among the students and the teachers to practice further. Yeah, thank you. In another 2 minutes, I will squeeze out. Okay. Strengthening the digital infrastructure of technical knowledge, include introduction of new apps. I think India is one wherein it can develop a lot of apps, and today apps is almost like like an industry itself. We can develop apps for in agricultural, civil aviation, weather forecasting, safety, and safety apps for women, entrepreneurship motivations. And we can being human and reasonable. Meticulous steps in preparing India future pandemic shall be undertaken judiciously. Assistance to state and central government in areas pertaining to strengthening laboratory networks and surveillance to promote integrated public health labs. All possible promotions carefully executed. Manodarpan, an initiative of psychological support of students, teachers, families for mental health and emotional well-being shall be offered. Possible helps for establishing a national foundation literary numeracy mission for ensuring every child attaining learning levels and outcomes in grade 5 by 2025 shall be offered by NITs. And NITs as innovation hubs, NITs have to become as innovation hubs, where in India ideas will be nurtured, and ideas will be developed technological solutions, and such ideas will be incubated to initiate startups. And if startups are well, we can develop that startup into an industry wherein a product is realized to get to get some kind of benefit on that. And another one is we have to have we have to particularly support industries like textile industries, wherein textile industry is next to agriculture industry in India. Similarly, organic farming, we are doing very well in organic farming. India is the third world in the world positions to generate food in organic farming by organic farming. And automobile industry, India is the fourth largest auto market in the world, which is also further can be fueled with all our R&D facilities. Pharmaceuticals, India is nearly 85% of the share of the global market is with India, and they are doing very well with this. And the last one is National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, MNREGA, 2005. This act has come in 2005. Mahatma Gandhi believed that the self-reliant India would not be possible without self-reliant villages. This MGNREGA is one of the most important rural employment program which provides opportunity to villages to become self-reliant. Present government has allocated 40,000 crores for this program under Aatma Bharat. Hence, I request all the NITs to start some rural research centers in each NIT, and which can be further fueled with the kind of work that is required for the villagers. We have to do that, and like artisans, we can help artisans, we can help farmers, we can help all the farming crops with some kind of research and development work in NITs. With this, I summarize that the role of NITs in professing the idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat is presented here. Overall steps for undertaking were discussed. This includes the revamp in curriculum design, which is tested by NEP 2020. Specific strategies are highlighted to attain the degree of self-reliance by promoting selling and purchase of goods made in India. As such, day-to-day practice of faculty, staff, students shall be derived towards achievement of larger goal is highlighted. Departments of NIT shall work together on thematic projects and shall contribute to the speedy attainment of Atmanirbhar Bharat. I thank you. I thank all who listened to my speech, and I thank particularly NIT Jalandhar for giving me this opportunity and its director. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we have two special invitees for this panel discussion, Professor Rajiv Tripathi, NIT Allahabad, and Professor Gautam Sutradhar from NIT Manipur. So, sir, we would like to invite you to speak for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Professor Rajiv Tripathi.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just
We don't have time. We cannot read everything.
I'll quickly take 2-3 minutes, not more than that. Shraddheya Sri Kothari Sahab and Honorable Chairman BOG NIT Jalandhar, Sri Ralhan Ji, Honorable Chairman BOG NIT Hamirpur, Professor Chandrasekhar Sir, my fellow director, dynamic director colleague, Professor Awasthi Sahab, distinguished other fellow directors who have joined here, and I was listening to all of them, so I'm not going to talk about all those issues. Just quickly, as we all know that NITs by default are contributing, technological contribution in our country is very effective from REC period. As we all know that majority of our students, our products, they have been contributing in national technological developments. Yes, this is the time when we have to work for Atmanirbhar Bharat, and we all have seen that during crisis period, our potential comes out very fast. And recently we have realized this fact during COVID period. Now, just Miss many of my previous speakers, they have talked about different areas. And if we talk about some of the actionable point, because I always emphasize that we should concentrate on some of the actionable point, and even if couple of them we are able to implement it, we start moving. We know that problems are there in the society, problems are there around us, and we need to give the solution to the society. And creativity needs to be generated in our campus by the way of our curriculum. That is point number one. And ideas are more important. Generating the ideas, that idea may be very simple, but it may be making a very huge impact on the society. Recently, during this COVID period, we have done the technology transfer for 3 products which were not technologically so advanced, but the idea was good, and idea was accepted by industry, and it has been grabbed by, in fact, the industry during this COVID period. For the first time, 3 technology transfers have taken place from NIT Allahabad. Likewise, my all NITs, they have also done good amount of technology transfer to industry. Moreover, what I have visualized, that if we can develop a kind of model in which the BTech project can be allotted in 3rd semester, and we can form a consortium of industry in and around NITs, and those projects can be deliberated, discussed with the industry, and from 3rd year to final year, students can see that industry can support, industry can tell them about their ideas, identify the problems, areas are there, problems are there. We need to see, we need to use our creativity, and industry need to add on in terms of ideas, in terms of practical applicability. And then at the end of the day, maybe after final year, if the solution is there, and that solution can be taken up by the industry and the group of students who are working on that, they can form in terms of your what you call a startup. So that is immediately actionable point. Just we need to identify couple of industries in and around us who are willing. And yes, lot of things have been said, and that is very important and relevant also, that we need require funding, we require infrastructure, all those kinds of things are there. But if we have to develop like that, then we need to develop a kind of self-sustaining model, and that self-sustaining model can be developed only with the help of technology transfer, product development, and that is where we need to focus more. As far as the faculty involvement is concerned, there was a concern that maybe with the technology transfer, maybe with the publications are also very important. Yes, publications are important, and we have BTech, MTech, and PhD programs. BTech projects can be converted with industry collaboration for technology transfer. PhDs may lead to publication, and MTechs also. Half of the MTech students can be deployed for technology transfer kind of product, and half of the MTech students, depending upon their interest, depending upon their inclination, they can take up the issues which may lead to the publication. So if we can start doing this, we are confident that NITs will contribute very significantly in our Aatma Bharat Abhiyan. Dhanyavad, because I have a couple of more ideas, but restricting to time, I have just tried to focus on one immediately actionable point. Thank you. Thank you all, and thanks Awasthi Saab for providing me this opportunity to share my thoughts, and I hope that I have not taken much of your time. Thank you. Jai
Thank
Hind,
you.
Jai Bharat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for adhering to the time. Now I would like to invite Professor Gautam Sutradhar, Director, NIT Manipur.
Namaskar, am I audible?
Yes, okay. You are audible.
Thank you. So first of all, Namaste Atul Gadri ji and chairman persons from NIT Jalandhar and NIT Hamirpur and my fellow director friends, and thank you Professor Lalit ji for inviting me such a august gathering. I will just specifically only take 2 to 3 minutes only. So our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji, has already told that our Indian future rests on the villages, and about 75% of Indian population living in the rural areas, and out of which 60 to 65 to 70% of the labor force still earning their livelihood from the agriculture and allied activity.
चित्रधार जी आपका फोटो नहीं आ रहा है.
Okay. I think it is coming.
हाँ, now coming. हमें खुशी देख कर क्या फोटो आपका.
Okay, thank you. So as we all know that during that pandemic situation, May 12th, 2020, our respected Prime Minister Modi ji has announced that self-reliant India mission and Aatma Bharat vision. So in this present context, what NIT Manipur is focusing, that Prime need to develop the rural industries to solve the rural unemployment and rural migration to the urban cities. So therefore, the village level, the entrepreneurship may be developed, particularly based on agriculture, fisheries, and milk production and animal husbandry. So particularly in Manipur, there are huge natural resources are there. So what we plan basically to first of all to create entrepreneur mindset in the young people, particularly semi educated or full educated entrepreneurs, and that there are many garment manufacturing unit also very lucrative there, because there's a specific lotus fiber is very specific for there, and silk fiber is also there. So if you could do something and the garment manufacturing could be done, and apart from that some repair and maintenance of hospital instrumentation is very needed for Manipur, and drinking water is very scarcity in Manipur, all of the villages and the towns. So therefore we always trying to involve our students to go to the villages for the waste management process and natural resources, and just to supply drinking water. Already we have done about 500 families under the Unnat Bharat vision. Not only that, Manipur is also rich with very good wood and bamboo. So therefore, wood carving and bamboo technology is a really innovative thinking are there already. And not only that, Manipur is full of that lake in our eastern India. That the Loktak Lake is one of the lake is there, where on the there are 1 lakh fishermen are there, and there is a huge demand of fishery items still is there. So our main focus is in and around Manipur. So therefore, I hope that we will already plan for the Aatma Sil India as well as Aatma Sil Manipur along with their resources. So therefore, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It is just we are planning, and we have done some webinars on that, taking the local institutes, local engineering colleges, polytechnics, and therefore we are very optimistic that in the near future we could do much more on this. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Namaskar, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So I would like to thank all the speakers in this panel and the chairman, Professor S.C. Ralan. And now I would like to invite Professor Mukhopadhyay, Dean Academic, to conclude this session.
Okay, thank you all. I mean, there is a very long list, in fact, so much information that we have gathered, but obviously NIT can act as a pillar, okay, for the NEP as well as towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So I'll jot down the points in brief. I mean, not naming the speaker individually. Number one is the total revamp of curriculum development. That is one of the need that has been highlighted by many speakers. Second is that emphasis more on research. That should be the integral part of our NEP system so that we can move towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Because now at this point we cannot disintegrate the NEP and Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is an integral part because proper implementation of NEP and channelizing the NEP can lead towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And many of the directors from NIT highlighting the research development at their own place. That is quite interesting to listen. So to move towards that, we need to emphasize more on research and industry-based project also. That is another point highlighted by the many directors. And as of our director, Professor Lalit Kumar Avasthi mentioned that 10% translation of project should be there towards the project, towards the product development. That is another important part. And not only that, the due credential should be given to the faculty developing the new product, new process. Next is the visit to industry and villages. That is also very important because we can identify the various sort of problems and which can be done at the institute level. And the focus should be also on the energy, environment and agriculture. Many of the places at NIT, they are focusing on these aspects: energy, environment and agriculture. And BTech, MTech and PhD research work must be oriented towards the product development. At least the few percentage of BTech, MTech and PhD research work must be oriented towards that. And not only that, not only the product development, that must lead to the patent and also the technology transfer. Because many cases it will become die out if it is not being, technology transfer is not being done, it is not done if the patenting is not being done. In a way, in the institute, we must have the entrepreneur development program or entrepreneurship. In the institute, in our institute, we are having entrepreneurship cell, an incubation center and startup to nurture the whole things. So this is in brief the summary of that Atmanirbhar Bharat, how we can move toward the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And that the point highlighted by Sri S.C. Ralan, that the policies by Government of India must be acknowledged to strengthen the MSME. So to strengthen the MSME also, our student can help a lot because we can undertake many projects, industry-based projects, which can in a way help the MSME. Now I am concluding this session now. And then obviously the COVID situation and enable us to think in a new dimension, new way for product development, process development. And we think that in future, we can strengthen it further because this basically thrust us to think in that direction toward the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So in future, we'll try to strengthen it further and all NIT must be, can be grouped and individually also can align with the industry, they can take up the industrial based project and they can lead to the India in a new heights through the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So before we start the second session, strategies for implementing National Education Policy 2020 for NIT, I would like to invite Professor Lalit Kumar Avasthi, Director NITJ, for introducing this session.
नमस्कार, श्री अतुल कोठारी जी, श्री एस.सी. रलन जी, श्री चंद्रशेखर जी और सभी निदेशक। जैसा कि पहले भी कहा गया है, अब हमें इसमें मेन फोकस यही रहे कि हम अपनी एनआईटी में क्या कर रहे हैं या मिलकर एनआईटीज नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में क्या कर सकते हैं। जहां तक मुझे लगता है कोई भी एजुकेशन पॉलिसी देश को ऊपर ले जा सकती है अगर हम एक तरफ कम्युनिटी समुदाय के साथ जुड़े और दूसरी तरफ इंडस्ट्री के साथ जुड़े। तो मुझे लगता है कि जितना भी फोकस न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी का है उसको अगर हम ट्रांसलेट करें अपनी एनआईटीज में, तो मुझे लगता है कि एनआईटीज के बच्चे अगर कम्युनिटी प्रोजेक्ट करें या अगर कम्युनिटी में जाएं और अगर इंडस्ट्री में जाकर के वहां की प्रॉब्लम देखें, तो मुझे लगता है कि फिर वो आकर के उन पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। तो मेनली सभी एनआईटीज और आईआईटीज का मेन फंक्शन है कि बच्चों की हम सृजन क्षमता, उनकी क्रिएटिविटी को इंक्रीज कर पाए, उनमें साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट बना पाए और स्टार्टअप और नए कल्चर के लिए, नए नवाचार के लिए उनको तैयार कर पाए। तो मुझे लगता है नवाचार या देश के लिए या आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए ये जरूरी है कि बच्चे जो एनआईटी के हैं वो कम्युनिटी में जाएं और कम्युनिटी के साथ इंटरफेस करें, ताकि वहां की जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं या इंडस्ट्री से इंटरफेस करें, जहां इंडस्ट्री की जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उनको अगर सॉल्व करेंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि हम एक आत्मनिर्भर भारत का निर्माण कर सकते हैं। मैं सभी को बताना चाहूंगा और कंग्रेचुलेशन दूंगा, यहाँ अपने संकाय को एक प्रोजेक्ट मिला है एनआईटी जालंधर को, विच इज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट प्रोजेक्ट एंड इट इज वर्थ रुपीज 2.4 करोड़ फ्रॉम डीएसटी। इसमें है साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी हब फॉर SC/ST villages. So we under the project will be adopting 10 villages in nearby area और उनकी अपलिफ्टमेंट देख करके फिर 3-4 साल में देखेंगे। तो अगर ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट में बच्चों को कोरिलेट किया जाए और वहां की प्रॉब्लम्स को लाया जाए तो मुझे लगता है कि इससे हम एक मार्ग प्रशस्त कर सकते हैं जिससे कि भारत आत्मनिर्भर हो सकता है। इन शब्दों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूं और नमस्कार, जय हिंद, जय भारत।
थैंक यू सर।
अवस्थी सर, डॉक्टर अर्लिन।
हाँ जी सर।
प्लीज 1 मिनट।
यस सर, यस सर।
आत्मनिर्भर भारत के बारे में जो सभी एनआईटी के प्रयास है वो बहुत अच्छे और अभिनंदनीय प्रयास है। मेरा एक रिक्वेस्ट है, जो अभी डॉक्टर ललित कुमार अवस्थी जी ने कहा इस प्रकार कि अभी मैं कल ही कानपुर में एक आत्मनिर्भर कानपुर का उन्होंने अभियान लिया है, यूनिवर्सिटी ने उसका इनॉग्रेशन प्रोग्राम में जाकर आया कल में। तो उन्होंने क्या किया है कि एक पूरी सोसाइटी को साथ में लेकर एक कमिटी अपॉइंट किया है। सारे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है इसमें, एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में काम करने वाले लोग भी है, सारे ब्यूरोक्रेट्स कुछ है, पॉलिटिशियन है, सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से है और कुछ बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशन है जो एजुकेशन फील्ड के, वो उन लोगों को। तो ऐसा सब मिलाकर उन्होंने एक 60 लोगों का एक कमिटी अपॉइंट किया है और उसका भी एक कल मीटिंग था, पूरे दिन भर वहां था। तो वो सब मिलकर हम जो सोसाइटी की नीड क्या है, इंडस्ट्रीज की नीड क्या है, एग्रीकल्चर की नीड क्या है, ओवरऑल हमारे नेशन की नीड क्या है, इसका एक सर्वे हमारे पास हो और उसके आधार पर फिर हम अपने यहाँ इस प्रकार के प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट करें। तो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत यूजफुल काम होगा और पूरी सोसाइटी का एक काम बनेगा। सिर्फ हमारे एक एनआईटी सेपरेटली करेगा इतना नहीं होगा, तो पूरी सोसाइटी को इसमें हमने जोड़ना है। तो इस प्रकार का हम, जैसे कानपुर यूनिवर्सिटी ने पूरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट को आत्मनिर्भर करने का प्लान किया, ऐसे अनेक यूनिवर्सिटी में जैसे स्टार्ट हुआ है, कुछ स्कूल इंस्टीट्यूशन ने भी इस प्रकार स्टार्ट किया है। तो मुझे लगता है इस प्रकार थोड़ा ब्रॉड वे में इसको अगर हम प्लान करेंगे तो इसका बहुत ही उपयोग होगा और सब मिलकर चलेंगे तो काम भी बहुत इजी और आसान हो जाता है। तो इस दिशा में मुझे लगता है कि आप सब विचार करें, ऐसा मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे।
गुड आइडिया।
हाँ जी, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। So the panelists in the second session are Professor Chandrasekhar, Honorable Chairman BOG NIT Hamirpur, Professor Mahesh Chandra Govil, Director NIT Sikkim, Professor Karunesh Kumar Shukla, Director NIT Jamshedpur, Professor N.V. Ramana Rao, Director NIT Warangal, Professor Mini Shaji Thomas, Director NIT Tiruchirappalli, Professor Rajat Gupta, Director NIT Mizoram, Professor Karnam Uma Maheshwar Rao, Director NIT Suratkal. So we are especially thankful to our chief guest, Professor Chandrasekhar ji, to agree to speak here. So I would like to invite Professor Chandrasekhar, sir. Sir, please.
Hello. Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Role of the technical institutes in any society who wants to grow is the generation of new knowledge and dissemination of that, first thing. Second, their role is to test new ideas which can be of high technical or scientific importance, to develop new products which are not in the market, or to make a substantial improvements in the products which are in the market. Such type of roles are there of high technological institutes. These institutes can solve only some problems of near about small industries, which they can help to them. But otherwise, the main role of this is this. Otherwise, it will become that you are hitting a small bird by a cannon. One has to think very clearly what is the role of these technological institutes and what they can do, how to use them. To do this, technical education has to be totally revamped. New curriculum has to be made. And curriculum cannot be made just like that few persons are sitting, copying from here and there and developing a new curriculum. Curriculum has to be problem solving. Which problem? Which country is facing at this time? To do that, what you need? To do that, what you need? You need a knowledge base. And whatever knowledge you develop, a very faithful documentation of that. Documentation of the knowledge which is being generated, useful knowledge which is being generated, is not available in the country. If one professor goes, the department is closed. Good professor, I'm telling you. And anywhere in the world. I have seen only Japanese or Britishers or French. They document their knowledge very faithfully so that it can be used by the others. It is not just like that to write a research paper which cannot be used. Professor Avasthi was telling if 10% of the research papers can be used, 10% papers are not good at all. How they can be used? You have to see what is in the research paper which is usable. Every institute has to examine it. So you have to make a cell for that. You cannot do all these things unless you make a better citizen in your institute. So for that, a value education has to be very important. Your ethics. Then you have to develop competency in your students. Your program has to be like this so that you make very competent students. Competent students who can solve the problem which is being faced by the country. This cannot be done unless you make your teachers knowledgeable, wise, and the behavior of your teachers with the students has to be very friendly, which is generally not there. Teachers think they are different species. They have to be very friendly with the students. Students have to think about that. They are their mentors. They cannot think them that they are their bosses. A teacher is not a boss. At present, teacher is a facilitator. He should facilitate the education, facilitate the learning, which is useful to the society at present. That time has gone when the theoretical knowledge was sufficient. At present, you have to train your students who can learn beyond the classroom. What does it mean? He should learn from his fellow students. He should learn from in hostels. And even with the technical staff who is competent, how to do the work. At present, our students don't know how to do the work themselves. We are making them neither a scientist, not a manager. Education has to be design, production and marketing oriented. Technical education has to be design, production and marketing oriented. If design any design which cannot be produced is not useful. Every design cannot be produced. All tolerances, everything, finishing, everything you have to see the compatibility of the things. Many times we talk about that our students should do innovation, inventions. Many times we say like this. Our Prime Minister also says, he's a leader, he can tell. He can give his views, whatever he has seen. He is telling by his experience. But how can anybody, any director sitting here, where they are very knowledgeable people, or all learned people, how to create a manpower who can innovate? What structure you are having to create a person who can innovate, who can invent? What do you have to do for that? Whatever little I could do in my lifetime, I will talk it later about this issue. But you have to design a strategy to make a knowledge-based, to make a technology-based institution, to make an interaction-based institution, where interaction has to be more. At present, I am seeing, in NITs especially, mechanical person don't want to talk with electrical person don't want to talk with a physics person don't want to talk with a chemistry person don't want to talk with a mathematician. Everybody you need if you want to do a design and you want to develop a product. Then you have to design instructions according to the need of the students. Instructions are not designed just for the sake of designing. You have to know what type of students you are getting in your institute, and instructions have to be designed to meet their needs. To all implement all these things, you need very good input of the students. So what you have to do with the students? You have to nurture in the students the quest for knowledge. You have to make them to understand why knowledge is required. Let me tell you, by telling it will not do it. You have to groom them. You have to groom them for that. Many times I have seen, my background is different. I have taken a mechanical engineering, electrical engineering for PhD. You have to groom them in your area, interdisciplinary area. You have to give them a knowledge so that they can work in that area. Every knowledge is not required for everybody. You have to find out what is the useful knowledge for that work. That institute has to work very hard for that. Then skill. Skill does not mean, fitting, machining. Skill means here is to provide the student a necessary skill to study that program in which he has been recruited. That is the skill for that student. If you know many other things and which you don't know, how you can excel in that program, then you have to have a willing student. You have to mentor a student so that you make him a willing student. Generally, let me tell you the tendency, people want to have a shortcut. They don't want to do hard work to learn. And unless you do hard work to learn, your knowledge will be very superficial. It will stay for a very short time. What we are doing at present in the classroom, in most of the institutions, leave these 5 IITs, which are old. I have seen almost all other institutions. You are giving them the instructions in a course, they will cram that. Nobody wants to make a good question paper. Good means where you need a thinking to solve the problem. They just do and write it something, you vomit it, you see it, how much they are near to that what you are taught, and you give the marking. It is false indication of his grades with his knowledge. Evaluation system, examination system has to be improved, has to be made so that we can classify different class of students in a better way. Then this compartmentalized education cannot be commercialized. For commercializing the products, for making a commercial research, to study whether it is economically feasible and commercially viable, you have to have the knowledge of many areas. So interdisciplinary research has to be encouraged in all NITs. If you are not encouraging the interdisciplinary research, this paper writing will not help neither the institution or not the country. Paper, you see, it is that some knowledge you have generated. It may be new, it may be reinventing the wheel, it may be something. You have to see what is there in that, the research publication. Research publication should be evaluated by the institute. You should have a committee to evaluate the research papers, how much useful they are. And if some useful research is there, then it should be brought to practice. To bring it to the practice, you need different type of skills. Everybody, a person who has written a research paper, he may not be capable to bring it to the practice. Some other person may be required to bring it to the practice. Or sometime, same person may be capable to bring it to the practice. So we should examine those facilities. Then, many things at many places I have heard, we should give more emphasis to the design, production. Let me tell you, students cannot innovate or cannot invent unless otherwise you give them a systematic, useful education. Give them a systematic, useful education. Then innovation and invention will come automatically. Some of them will innovate, some of them will invent, and some of them will do the routine jobs. Let them do it. But at least education should be systematic. And for every MTech, BTech or PhD program, you should make a prerequisite. What you need, what knowledge you need to complete that particular doctoral thesis. Unless you make a prerequisite, he'll be struggling and collecting the data and plotting the graphs and making a publication, which is not of any use, let me tell you. This is useful once you collect the papers like this. Somebody who is intelligent, he may use that knowledge. To very a focused, I think, a very focused effort has to be made in that direction. In our institutes, a balance has to be made for teaching, research and development, and exercising the social responsibility. Lot of noise is coming. Somebody has to mute his mouth. This mouth. Exercising social responsibility, social service. Only social service is not the aim of these institutes. These institutes' aim is to develop new knowledge, to disseminate that, and to do the social service. The balance has to be made in that. We talk a lot about the rural technology. IIT Delhi was one of the first institutes to develop a rural technology center. Till now, in last 40 years, I have not seen, because I was associated with this institute as a student. Then I went from here to IIT Madras, and when I came back, then also I was here as a faculty. No useful thing has come from the rural centers for the villages. Money is wasted just on the name of the rural technology. If rural is there, then it should be able to solve some problem of the persons who are living in village. We recruit the persons who have done high technology work. Then they say, I will do the rural technology. They don't do both. So one should be very careful in making rural technology centers. Very, very careful that in rural technology centers only these things will be done. That institute should specify. It should not be open-ended. When I was a student at IIT Madras, Professor Indresan started making bullock cart. That cost of that bullock cart in those days was more than 2 lakhs rupees. Who a rural person will buy that bullock cart? It was a high-tech bullock cart. You see, person has to see what is useful to that segment of the society. These institutes, manpower is not trained to do the rural research. So one should be very careful in designing rural center. Kindly don't compare with other institutes. Why IITs are giving more importance, why MIT is giving more importance, why Caltech is giving more importance. Nobody is getting importance without any reason. Importance comes by your hard work. You do the hard work, you will get importance automatically. There is no problem in that. Importance is given by the society, by the community, by the government, is based on your hard work. My advice, my request to all the directors and all the learned panelists on the is that we should improve our institution, our students, our faculty each and every day. Improve, make an improvement, and that improvement will automatically be reflected in achieving the excellence. The comparison will make everybody frustrated. You cannot compare with MIT, Harvard, you cannot compare with Oxford, with Cambridge. Why you want to compare with them? You know what you are at present. Make improvement in them. Make improvement in your system. And slowly, slowly you will see in few years, you will become outstanding or excellent. I think a systematic education should be created first. A system should be made to educate our students. A lot of improvement has to be made in faculty members. Lot of improvement. For that, lot of investment has to be made. This is what a a small thing I will like to tell. And something was being talked, I was hearing, though I need not to attend that Aatma Bharat, but these institutes can only do for Aatma Bharat, only they can do, think about it a lot. You can train your student to become entrepreneurs, and you develop the technology which can be commercialized. Other things, these institutions cannot do it. It is not possible. These things carry a lot of things. To make an entrepreneur, you have to give your students a very special training. They have to help themselves, they have to help the society. So thank you very much. Jai Hind, and I will stop at this moment. Let the panelists should talk, discuss, and give their views, because their experience will be better that you hear them.
Thank you so much, sir. So your experience is reflected in whatever you say. So I would now like to invite Professor Mahesh Chandra Govil, Director, NIT Sikkim.
So good afternoon. आदरणीय अतुल कोठारी जी, आदरणीय चंद्रशेखर, प्रोफेसर चंद्रशेखर जी, चेयरमैन एनआईटी हमीरपुर, आदरणीय एसजी रलहान, चेयरमैन एनआईटी जालंधर, my colleague directors, faculty members, and other dignitaries. First, I would like to thank Professor Lalit Kumar Awasthi for giving us the platform where we can discuss really a very serious issue of this implementation of this new NEP, and which is, I think, is very difficult as far as I can gather from the thoughts of Professor Chandrasekhar ji, because he always says we are very good at the preparation of the document, but when it comes to the implementation, we really at times we fail. So I think this is very, very important, how to implement this NEP in NITs, and I believe if we do have a cooperative kind of a strategy, we can achieve at least some of the goals of the NEP. The NEP document is, of course, is well documented. We talk about sustainable livelihood, economical development. Then we talk about the various characteristics which need to be developed in the student: character, ethics, constitutional values, intellectual curiosity, scientific temper, creativity, skill set for and competency for the 21st century. And then we talk about the imbibing the value education also. And value education is, I think, is very important. Everybody has emphasized, and that has to be thought again, because as we believe, the values of the education has really given a backseat as compared to the technology and other things. So they are also very, very important. So we normally wants to prepare the student as a meaningful person for the development of the country, and therefore we talk about the preschool education, school education, and higher education. And I also believe the planning should start from the preschool, and the draft of each and every student has to be prepared accordingly, depending upon his competency and the capabilities also. So these are the two important aspects. Second thing is, I think somewhere, as the Professor Chandrasekhar has always emphasized, the discipline is I think is the most important key to achieve whatever we want. And that discipline should be in the student as well as in the faculty also. So both are important. And the passion and aptitude is also becoming very important, because nowadays we find the students, when they come to the classes, really the goals are very short. They don't want to achieve the what we are talking about, the true knowledge and the application of the knowledge. That is really very, very important. So therefore we have to talk about how to really motivate the student, or to make them passionate, or develop an aptitude where they can really learn what we want from them. So that is also very important. We always know the so many attributes has been given in the NBA document also, and they are really very good. And we want that all those kind of the attributes should be developed in these students. That is also important. At the same time, we want that at the end of the year he should be happier and should have lead the meaningful life also. So these are some important aspects of I think this education policy are. Now the problem we all know, right? We always say the education ecosystem which we have presently is not addressing what we want, and sometimes we talk about the multidisciplinary education. Of course, it is very, very important, and then imbibing the various kind of the discipline into the curriculum is important. So we talk about the curriculum revision also. But revision is, of course, is very easy, but when it comes down to the implementation, again, there are the large number of issues we have to really think of. So one thing is how really we are going to design the curriculum, as the Professor Chandrasekhar has already said. Designing curriculum is, I think, is the most difficult task, because while designing the curriculum, you cannot have the same set of curriculum for all category of students. So Professor Leslie has also said that there are some students which are very good. There are some students which are in the medium category, and maybe some are in the low category. So can we design an algorithm, or can we design a curriculum which is different for the different category of these students? And similarly, the delivery mechanism has to be different. It has to be different for the different category of students. So the infrastructure becomes a very, very important aspect of segregating the student depending upon their capability and then addressing their need. So how to develop those kind of the infrastructure. While talking about the interdisciplinary, one idea also came to mind is we normally talk about the lecture complexes, where we combine the various kind of the, we want that the lecture hall should be together, and then the students can come there. So they have, of course, various advantages also, because the students from the various branches can intermingle and can discuss their issues. Why can't we think of the similar kind of the laboratory complexes also, where we have interdisciplinary laboratories together, and so that at least if the student is not belonging to that branch, he can perceive something and can become more motivated to do something interdisciplinary. So this is one aspect. Then, of course, the problems has been highlighted in the NEP document, and they all are good. The most important component of our education system are the faculty, student, and the staff. The staff, in my opinion, is also equally important as the faculty is. Because when you talk about the laboratories, who is going to teach them the latest technologies, and who is going to give them the hand-on experiences? What we have find in the laboratories, normally the technical staff is not so qualified so that he can really address the need of the students. So as again I'm referring, Professor Chandrasekhar has said, the faculty training is a very, very important. And I also feel the quality of the faculty need to be improved. We in last few years, I have noticed that the student passing out from the NIT and IIT is not willing to join the education institutions. We have to really analyze what is the reason. The best students are not coming to faculty jobs. That is a very important, is it the facility, or it is the autonomy, or it is the recognition, which is the major reason why the students doesn't want to come to the premier institution, even the premier institutions. So if we have a very good faculty, we can think of realizing the true objective of the NEP. That is one issue. So we have to sincerely address the faculty requirement. We have to sincerely think about the sanctioning of the faculty as well as the staff position for each and every NIT, right? So that it can really adhere to the 1:12 student faculty ratio. Because of at most of the time, due to reservation policy or maybe non-availability of the people at the senior position, most of the positions left vacant. So you cannot always ensure that all the faculty positions can be filled. So keeping that in mind, the adequate number of faculty should be there. If you want, the interdisciplinary kind of the education should be given. At the same time, the technical as well as the support staff is very, very important. That should be also in adequate number. Second, the faculty should be given adequate exposure to the world-class education environment, not only the training. Industry reputation is very, very important, must be sent. In previous discussion, I also said that the faculty must be sent at least to the industry or the research for a long term, not for a few days or let's say a few weeks. He should be there at least for 3 months or 4 months so can learn, right, how the industry operates, what are the new technologies, how we really implement. And of course, the developing the ecosystem for providing the startups, entrepreneurship for the students is also very, very important. So that is really important. I think the time is not much and the speakers are too many. And therefore, I again thank NIT Jalandhar for this really wonderful initiative. And with this, I thank each and everybody there. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir. So now I would like to invite Professor Karunesh Kumar Shukla, Director NIT Jamshedpur.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Respected Sri Atul Kothari ji, respected Sri S.C. Ralhan ji, Chairman BOG NIT Jalandhar, respected Professor Chandrasekhar ji, Chairman BOG NIT Hamirpur, my fellow directors, faculty members, and other distinguished personalities. It's indeed pleasure for me to be here, and I thank my friend Professor Avasthi ji for giving me this opportunity to interact. In fact, nothing has left to be said. Already I was keenly listening Professor Chandrasekhar sir. He has already set the tone and kick-started the things how to implement NEP, and his talk was close to my heart. What I have been practicing or saying, he emphasized on the same thing. So nothing has been left for me to say, sir, after you. But anyway, since I have been given this opportunity, I have chalked down certain points, and some of those points already Professor Gobil has covered, but quickly I will go through in 5 to 6 minutes. Coming to the NEP, implementation is the more important. Any document is not bad, it's good. I have been saying every time, and I will repeat again with this, अयोग्य पुरुषो नास्त योजा कसरत दुर्लभा. योजा कसरत लोग नहीं होते हैं, सही काम करने वाले लोग नहीं होते हैं, कोई भी चीज खराब नहीं होती है. So let us be, we the directors of NIT under the guidance of Professor Chandrasekhar, Atul Kothari ji and other dignitaries, let us try to kick a start and implement it. The first thing in the NEP is that now the NITs being the one of the first year or second year technical education in India has to be multidisciplinary institutions. So we have to think of mostly the NITs are imparting education to engineering. Some NITs are also imparting education to MSc sciences also, as well as some social sciences. Though we teach the social sciences subject and other science subject to our undergraduate students, but most of the NITs, they have not opened up the different social sciences and other aspects. So what I feel that education with emphasis for the NITs on sciences and social sciences, multidisciplinary education will enable students to become well-rounded across disciplines. That will increase their creative thinking and analytical abilities, what is required for time being. To fulfill this objective of being the multidisciplinary institutions, I think that NIT should start some new courses. I have chalked down some new courses, maybe sports engineering, medical engineering, IT Kharagpur already has started, I believe, human or social engineering, genetic engineering, neuroscience and engineering, cognitive science and engineering is one area where we should think upon, we should try to do it, and many more. NITs, there is a need to NITs to revisit their curriculum to lay more emphasis on interdisciplinary subjects, which Professor Gobil was also talking about, such as aesthetics, course related to social, emotional, and moral well-being of an individual, which is required. We do train engineers, but do we train, importing good human values, ethical values, moral values or not? It has to be looked into also. Soft skills, communication, discussion and debate, etc. should be the hallmark of all undergraduate programs, including those in professional, technical and vocational disciplines. Lessons also, as Professor Chandrasekhar has rightly emphasized, that community service programs, which is doable. He gave the example of IIT Kharagpur also, which is doable and which is beneficial and affordable for the local people also, should be considered as part of holistic development. And I'm sure if we do it, this will help in holistic development of an individual. That was my first point. Coming to emphasis on this first point, in order to implement the multidisciplinary approach, NITs should forge a strong bond among themselves in terms of courses, subjects being offered, joint research supervision, credit transfer, etc. What I feel, it's not possible given the financial constraints that every NIT can start all the courses or all the disciplines. So what we can have, if all the NITs, 31 NITs come together on a common platform and we allow our students to take courses of other NITs, either in online mode or something else, and they do appear in their examination and credits would be transferred. Similarly, we have expertise of some pool of expertise in one NITs, expertise in other NITs. If we synergize together, then also we can try to implement this NEPs in true sense. The next point, that NITs should also think to open distance learning programs and online education program. They should come out so that we can reach out to the masses also, to the deprived classes also. It's not possible for each and everyone to get admission in IITs and NITs. So can we think upon, on the similar lines of NPTEL and SWAM, we can think upon opening some certificate courses, some online courses to those students who are not able to make up to NITs and IITs, so to train them so that their skill is enhanced. And that can be done at least to start with for the local people of that area where the NITs is situated. Next point, NITs have to offer more flexibility in their programs, flexibility for the learners, which is one of the key aspect of NAP, and to allow them to possess the ability to choose their programs as per their interest. Right now we are residing in a closed and tight conduit. We have to be more flexible and so that their interest and their paths in life according to their talents they can acquire. Curriculum has to be made more flexible. It is imperative for NITs and higher educational institutions to restructure themselves and to develop strategies so as to become global player. By providing higher education across the globe, we are providing education to the country. We can think upon expanding ourselves. Otherwise, there is a challenge when the economy is open and the more other foreign universities are likely to come. So we have to compete. Unless until, which Chandrasekhar sir has rightly said, unless until we do it, we'll perish. In order to attract foreign students to Indian campuses, one doable point is that we can think upon giving a joint degree with the leading institution of the world. Technical education shall call for closer collaboration with industry and institutions to drive research and innovation, such as in cutting-edge technologies, such as artificial intelligence, data analytics, 3D machining, machine learning process, genomics, nanotechnology, neurosciences and engineering must be woven into the undergraduate program to make it holistic. Teachers must undergo continuous professional development programs. They have to be evaluated. Another thing of NEP talked about the language. So learners has to be encouraged to use multilingualism and promoting the power of language while imparting education to various institutions. We must think upon also imparting education in the local language. I can share one story. When I was in Taiwan, I was teaching. Most of the students, they don't know English. So whatever it is, they used to convert in Chinese and they learn and they ask the question in Chinese. I try to convert in English and I try to answer. So they are capability has increased if you teach in their local language. That's what the emphasis of the NEP also. Another aspect, identifying and nurturing the capabilities of every student by increasing the awareness among the parents and teachers. Parents has to also be taken into consideration so that they can eventually help in promoting every students. NIT should also...
Excuse me.
Yeah, please. I'm concluding then. I'm concluding.
Fine,
So finally, what I would like to say that teachers should not be only educator, they have to be edupreneur in order to meet out the global challenges. And edupreneur will be able to prepare the students to meet out the expectations of the society as well as to meet the fast changing technological scenario. Training of teachers is very much required. What Chandrasekhar sir has said, that our mindset need to be changed, then only we can implement NEP. Time has come to evaluate the performance of non-performers. And I will end my speech with this sloka. Udyama sasam dhairya buddhi sakti parakrama sadete yatra vartante tatra daivam sahayakrita. उद्यम करने वाले, साहस, धैर्य, बुद्धि, शक्ति और पराक्रम, यह गुण जिस भी व्यक्ति के पास होते हैं, भगवान भी उनकी मदद करता है. हम उद्यमी बने, शायद एनईपी को हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर लें, ईश्वर हमारे साथ है. थैंक यू. जय हिंद, जय भारत, नमस्कार.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to invite Professor N.V. Ramanna Rao, Director NIT Warangal. Professor Rao.
Yeah, thank you for inviting. At the outset, let me thank Professor Chandrasekhar, Chairman NIT Hamirpur, and the Director NIT Jalandhar, Professor Lalit Kumar Avasti, for inviting me for this NEP. Without wasting much time, already my fellow directors have given a brief account of what are the things to be done for implementing the NTP, and several strategies have been put in place. And what I would like to do is quickly what at NIT Warangal we have planned. So first and foremost, we are trying to increase the student strength to 20,000 from the current 6,000. So how do we accommodate these 20,000? Mostly through online and distance learning mode, because available infrastructure cannot be used for physical things. So we have now mastered in our own online and distance learning modes, and with several digital tools available, yes, we can increase the student strength. And obviously some infrastructure facilities will also need to be augmented for additional intake proposed. And we are also trying to upgrade all our old equipment with new equipments, and we are establishing new laboratories, especially in collaboration with the industry. The chairman rightly pointed out that the interdepartmental connectivity and interprofessor is a difficult thing to, but anyway, we have now realized that sometimes it is a good idea to involve industry persons or institutes or scientists from research laboratories to take part in the teaching learning. So we have introduced what we call as professors of practice, and then we are planning to introduce, offer a lot of industry relevant courses. That is really helping us in actually already we have done this exercise, and we find a lot of response from industry, and because industry also wants to upgrade. And then we have also strengthening our humanities and social sciences department, because especially we are trying to introduce different disciplines like psychology, sociology, philosophy, languages, economy, and arts and education, because this is one of the key things of the NEP, that they want to go multidisciplinary and beyond the narrow mode of specializations. And we want to emphasize on offering certificate courses and diploma courses. And instead of putting on physical infrastructure, we are strengthening and improving our IT and digital infrastructure, which will augment the teaching and learning experience for our students. And in fact, coming to our academic programs, we are restructuring our existing beta programs with multiple exit options, such as at the end of 1 year study, we are giving a certificate program in engineering sciences. After 2 years of study, we are giving a diploma in the discipline of study. After completing 3 years of study, we are giving advanced diploma in discipline of the study. And after completing 4 years of study, we are giving BTech degree in the discipline of study. Similarly, coming to the other courses, in even BTech, we are giving BTech degree with major and minor disciplines of study. So that is helping them, the students, to choose like computer science and engineering, so that they can have majors some subjects there, and then you have minor in some civil engineering like that. A combination depending on the interest and need of the student. And we are giving BTech honors with the focus on research. So this we are actually discussing in our Senate, and most probably it will be cleared. And we also try to introduce minor discipline can be any branch other than his own branch of engineering. It could also be allied science courses, including economics, law, fine arts, and other things. And in fact, coming to the industry relevant bachelor programs, we have come out with several new, especially in artificial intelligence and machine learning courses, agriculture engineering, power engineering, which are actually local to the institute, and we find a lot of interest. We're also planning to introduce 4-year BSc programs, especially in computational mathematics, pharmacy, sociology, data science, and data analytics. So there's a lot of demand for these programs. And of course, coming to the master's program, we have decided that after completing 1 year of study, if they want to go away, we give them a PG diploma in a specialization of study. And if they complete 2 years, PG degree in a specialization of study. And this could be also be depending on the requirement of the learner who wants to do it. And we are planning to offer a lot of industry relevant master's program, because that is what many industries, many people join the industry, they realize that they need to empower themselves in certain specific areas. So that is where we actually have come out with several programs. In fact, a list of 20 programs are there. For paucity of time, I don't want to read those programs, but so all these industry relevant master programs will be there. And then the integrated programs, the 5-year integrated BTech and MTech programs, right now we are not offering, but we plan to offer. And then 5-year integrated BSc and MSc programs also, and integrated BTech, Masters and PhD programs. This is our strategy as far as to enhance the research productivity also. And we want to concentrate mostly on certificate courses and diploma programs, because they are easy to implement, and we find that you can have short duration and the results are immediately seen. So PG diploma programs and PG diploma courses in collaboration with industry, because many industries have also come to us and discussing this. And we strongly believe that we need to have experiential learning, especially for those in the institutes. So we are also encouraging our students to take community-based projects with credits. We already have the EPICS engineering projects in community service program, and very successfully running for the last 10 years. We want to further strengthen and expand it, and see that they are all engaged in such local projects, so that. And we also have a center for career planning and development, where we mentor the students depending on the requirements, depending on his needs and interests. And placements, obviously, we are doing very well. And we are also encouraging our students to undergo long-term internship of 6 months to 1 year in the industry, and the response has been very good. We want to encourage undergraduate students to take up socially relevant research-based projects. All these are actually extracts from NEP, which can be easily implemented. And at NIT Warangal, we are very clear with our roadmap. And we want to create research internship to undergraduate and graduate students. And credit-based courses in teaching, education, and pedagogy will be designed and offered as mandatory courses. And all registered full-time research scholars will be engaged in the teaching learning process, which is again the requirement stated by the Ministry of Education. And we are now establishing a scholarship scheme in collaboration with our alumni and industry for meritorious students to see that they really help themselves. And research and innovation is something which we are giving a lot of thrust, especially interdisciplinary research. As chairman, interdisciplinary research has a lot of help, especially in solving Indian societal problems. And we want to carry out research on disruptive technologies. And I would like to inform that we are setting up centers of excellence, especially ANSYS Innovation Center, the Schneider Electric Smart City, and the NVIDIA Artificial Intelligence and Data Analytics Lab, and the Adivant Center of Excellence. We are in the process of doing that. And similarly, we are also establishing Skill Development Center. And
Excuse me, Professor Rao.
1 minute, just the last 1 minute.
Okay, so fine.
Of course, there are other things which our colleagues have said. I don't want to take much time, but I would like to say that virtual labs, which NIT Surathkal has done, we want to take that forward and really create teaching and learning for disruptive technologies. And most importantly, the academic and research collaboration is something which we are looking forward, especially with the leading foreign universities. We already are doing one with the Ukraine Aeronautical Institute. We want to set up a center of drone technology. Only today we have signed an MOU. the government of Telangana, then state government, national government. So this is being now done, and we are very happy that it is successful now. Apart from that, a lot of skill development courses in the centers of excellence. I'm happy to inform that a Siemens Center of Excellence has also been established recently at NIT Warangal after taking lead from NIT Tiruchirappalli. So we are doing good in that. And then we have a global technology development and training center, especially for training unemployed youth. And this is something which is very successful for us. And thank you very much. Thank you all for giving me an effort. And right now, internationalization is also giving a lot of thrust. Especially we want to create off-campus study centers, especially interested foreign countries, so that, we are trying to approach many people. So thank you very much. Thank you for the organizers for giving me the opportunity. And I'm sorry I have exceeded your 6 minutes time. Obviously, it's too small a time to discuss about the implementation, but I really congratulate the director NIT Jalandhar for bringing so many directors together and putting everybody on a similar platform and taking us together. And I would like to thank the chairman for the wonderful initial remarks which has motivated all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Yes, so I would now like to invite Professor Mini Shaji Thomas, Director, Tiruchirappalli, NIT. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected dignitaries and all my fellow directors of NITs. Good afternoon. My special thanks to NIT Jalandhar for organizing this. Self-reliant India, Aatma Nirbhar Bharat. How to achieve this using the implementation of NEP. I have only 3 points to make. As an educational institution, when we have to implement NEP, NIT Trichy, we are focusing on 3 aspects of becoming self-reliant. One is, first and foremost, the students have to be self-reliant. How to make them self-reliant? We have to make them rounded personalities. Now, our students, of course, they have come to study and become engineers, but eventually we have realized that they are not only engineers, they have to do whatever they wish, whatever is their passion. So, we introduced flexible curriculum way back in 2014 in NIT Trichy, already graduated 3 batches, which is, we are finding it extremely useful, where the students have multiple choices of subjects to study. They have already graduated with minors in as diverse as economics with computer science, or management with electronics, etc., etc. So it's doing very well, and a lot of scope for all-round development because they are engaged in all-round activities. We give them all the freedom, reducing the number of credits. So this has been already implemented, and so making our students self-reliant is the most important thing. And then connect them with the realities of life as to what is happening around. So we are also sending them for, if they want to develop a product, we are encouraging the entrepreneurial spirit also. And this year, I'm very glad to say that 3 faculty have registered their faculty startups. And making it a multiversity, we have started this year MA English, Language and Literature, so that our students are more diverse. And we have MOUs with many nearby institutions. For example, the National Law University, we have an MOU, so their faculty come and offer electives here. IIM Trichy, we have an MOU. Then with the Food Processing Institute, Tanjavur, we have an MOU, so that we are a multiversity as such without introducing it ourselves. The second aspect is research. We want to be self-reliant. Once our students are self-reliant, research, what we have done, we have developed our strategic plan for 15 years. In 2018, we launched our strategic plan. So we have taken a conscious decision that we will be funding only interdisciplinary research, and also research with industry focus, or research with focus on a product development. So last 2 years, we have our IPR policy has taken us way forward with patents being filed and product development is our focus. And multidisciplinary research, we are collaborating in two ways. We are collaborating with other institutions. Also, we are collaborating a lot with industries. And we are sending our faculty to industry to find the problems, come back and find solutions. So this way also, we want to be self-reliant in research. The third aspect we are focusing is we want to make our neighborhood self-reliant, because that is most important, because NITs are by default in rural settings. So we want to make our neighborhood self-reliant. This we are doing in two ways. We are mentoring about 50 engineering institutions in 3 southern states. We are bringing their students here for skill development in our centers of excellence. In different centers of excellences, we are offering internship to students of around many institutions around the state and neighboring states. And finally, we want to make our neighborhood industries self-reliant. This is also part of, to educate them. We have a lot of MSMEs around. We have created a design innovation center. We have opened up our labs to the neighborhood industry. They can come and utilize our facilities. So these are some of the initiatives we have taken to make India self-reliant and take India to the next level using the NEP 2020. I don't have time to explain in more detail. I wish to thank Dr. Awasthi for taking this initiative, for bringing all of us together to talk about self-reliant in Bharat with NEP. Namaskar. Thank you so much.
Namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am, for completing in time. So I would now like to invite Professor Rajat Gupta, Director, NIT Mizoram. Sir, please.
Thank you very much. Namaskar to all of you, Honorable Chairpersons of NIT Jalandhar and NIT Hamidpur, my esteemed colleagues. I am extremely grateful to the organizer for inviting me for this August gathering. I was there right from the beginning of this program. There are 2 sessions, Aatma Nirbhar Bharat and the NEP. I'm very much happy to listen all the things, and life is a learning process. I have learned so many things. So far NEP is concerned, Professor Chandrasekhar sir already mentioned, I cannot agree more than that. I'll just highlight 2-3 points, is that this multidisciplinary and the holistic is the key for our NEP. Now, in a multidisciplinary, we are the engineering institutes. So we have to decide what should be the length and depth of that multidisciplinary, because we cannot compromise with our core engineering. So how much? It will be 80% of engineering and 20% of this, or it is 70% of engineering and 30% of this. So this possibly we can decide for all you are talking about, that all-rounded and creative individuals. So for our engineering, core is the engineering. So we cannot sacrifice engineering. At the same time, there should be a multidisciplinary and a holistic approach. So that is one issue we have to decide. Secondly, we work in isolation. We have 31 plus NITs and we work in silo. Professor Chandrasekhar rightly mentioned that in the department itself, physics, chemistry cannot talk with each other. So we talk about collaboration and cooperation with the foreign universities. Ironically, we do not have the collaboration and cooperation with our own NITs. So when you talk about the credit transfer, then if the curriculum is more or less uniform, I cannot expect the curriculum will be uniform across all the NITs, but if a student can do a program which is not possible at NIT Mizoram, but it is very much possible at NIT Jalandhar, and students are very much interested to do that program online or otherwise, then we should
allow the students to that program and credit may be transferred. It is only possible if there is a curriculum is more or less similar to that only. 6 semester course he cannot do in the 8th semester, something like that. So basically I want to say that more discussion should be made amongst the directors to make the curriculum uniform to some extent. Second, another point is that resource sharing. You know, it is impossible for the government, for any agencies to provide all the resources. So it is imperative to have the resource sharing amongst ourselves. For example, NIT major a new institute, but we have the superseding wind tunnel. We have recently procured the 3D printer. Many of you may not be knowing that. So we can share this. Similarly, our students, our faculty members can share other resources. If you see in the Northeast itself, there are 8 NITs. We are hardly sharing anything amongst ourselves. So this point also should be taken care of. And my last point, because time is limited, last point is that we are talking of the reforms. Who will make the reforms? It is the teachers who will make the reforms. So first of all, the teachers should be trained properly and their mindset should also be changed. That it cannot be a job of 9 to 5. It is a 24/7 job. I know many teachers are doing that job, but if all of us cannot do that, we cannot achieve our goal. So with these few points, I will conclude. Once again, I express my gratitude to Augustin Sahib and his management of NIT Jalandhar for organizing this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for finishing before time. So now I would like to invite Professor Karanam Uma Maheshwar Rao, Director, NIT Surathkal.
Good afternoon to all the panelists of this session on the strategies of implementing National Education Policy 2020. At the outset, I take this opportunity to thank Professor Avasthi for giving me the opportunity in the panel discussion today. We all know the complete details which are given in the NEP 2020. A lot has already been discussed today. But a few important pointers of which are related to the technical education it's already been stated. That is, one is multidisciplinary education along with the scope for academic bank of credit, multiple entry and exit systems, importance to skill development, ramping up of the digital learning. Any strategy, before we really look for the strategy, we have to start from identifying the existing gaps which are there and from the industry and in the academia. So now if you look at the academy, this industry, the corporate sector is emphasizing more on strong domain skills, interpersonal, or in other words, it's a management skills, personal skills, and good communication skills. And the gaps are increasing further since the industry has already entered into an age of Industry Revolution 4.0. Therefore, the strategies for implementing NEP 2020, in my opinion, are to revamping the curriculum with suitable pedagogical reforms, extensive use of technology in teaching, learning, and assessment, promote interdisciplinary research and innovation, set up startups, incubation centers, and technology development centers, cultivate a research, the culture of research with the help of National Research Foundation, increase the scope for internship, because we all have to remember that future of employability and employment is going to be through pre-placement only. Now coming to the aspect of as far as the curriculum is concerned, there is a need to include automation and data exchange in manufacturing technologies, including cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, cloud computing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, big data computing, and creating smart factories. Right, a lot of the discussion has also gone into this one. Further, the curriculum may try to help to enhance the 21st century skills to cope up with the demands of the 4th industrial revolution. The focus should be on the integrated curriculum. This is what, again, our this honorable chairperson of Hamirpur has stated, Professor Chandrasekhar, The focus should be on integrated curriculum, which contains a sequence of well-planned learning experiences that help students meet the educational goals. Now, as far as pedagogical reforms are concerned, it is a teacher as a facilitator should provide support students in various groups, provide case studies for the real world problems, and should adopt teaching through physical activities. That is kinesthetic and tactile learning methods. We all have to remember that today we are dealing with the generation Z. They are the millennial generation. They are more comfortable with hands-on learning apart from supplying the information. So the traditional conventional teaching methods have to take a shift. There should be a paradigm shift from the prescriptive education to the collaborative education. Here, I would like to represent the strategy, straight away coming to the what exactly should be the strategy for implementing the NEP, right? Since I just would like to really take the attention of everyone that this is the educational engineering, multidisciplinary education model, which I would like to discuss. I hope it is clear to all the panelists, right? Primarily, it is a multidisciplinary education model. And then I'll just try to take a little time here to explain you that. Please try to imagine a structure with the foundation and a few verticals overlying a few resources as horizontals, and with a roof of multidisciplinary education portal. Okay, the strategy would be, it is the entire 4-year program is divided into 2 parts. First 2 years of an undergraduate program forms the firm base which acts as a multi-layered horizontal. The first year of the 2 years multi-layered horizontal, the first year focus is on strengthening underlying mathematics and basic sciences, and a few subjects of humanities and social sciences, along with common fundamental engineering subjects. This is end of first year. Now, as the students enter into the second year, the focus is on common engineering subjects. Say, for example, the programming and data structures, artificial intelligence introduced at the second year, and then machine learning, big data analytics, and all these IT-based the skills, which in fact offer basic technical skills. Now, under the multiple entry and exit option, for any unforeseen reason, if a student wants to take an exit after 2 years, it offers a scope for a diploma with a few basic IT related skills. So with that skills, I think there is a scope for that student with the diploma given by the institution to get a job or try for a job. Else, re-entry is always there into the academics, into the parent institution, and then wherein the academic, it will be totally dependent on the academic bank of credits which he has acquired in the last 2 years within the time limit. Going back to the structure, right? We have got to identify the verticals which are standing over the multi-layered horizontal. For example, vertical 1 can be on the core engineering subjects, vertical 2 can be on the advanced engineering knowledge, methods and tools, vertical 3 can be subjects with the scope of experimentation, investigation and knowledge discoveries, and vertical 4 can be interdisciplinary, and vertical 5 can be multidisciplinary elective subjects. The option of number of the verticals is totally dependent on the discipline. So basically the objective of the institution offering this multi-educational engineering education is to provide quality undergraduate, postgraduate program, create facilities to pursue world-class research programs, encourage startups, incubation centers, technology development centers, and also promote. It is essential for now to promote internships for career development, etc. With the resources, of course, we cannot really denounce that one, with the resources of energized, engaged, and capable faculty, as is suggested in the National Education Policy 2020, with the best infrastructure facilities. Infrastructure here, I mean, it is not just the civil structures, but the infrastructures, I mean here, the centers of excellence, and then the research facilities with the state-of-art equipment to facilitate quality, world-class quality research. Ultimately, the strategy for NITs need to have a curriculum which grooms engineering students with the abilities of conceiving, designing, implementing, and operating in real corporate world within the multidisciplinary engineering education. This is what is engineering of 21st century as visualized in national education policy. The success always lies within the reach of the teachers. Often it is said than believed that a linear change is more stable. Nevertheless, every attempt or any attempt does not guarantee a success in the initial period. The model explained today by me, that is on the strategies for implementing NEP 2020, there may be a few initial turbulences, but it is made possible. It can be made possible if the teachers own the reform and respond optimistically, taking the lead from the front, because changes proposed in NEP 2020 calls for initiation, implementation, and institutionalization. Change is the end result of all the true learning. Thank you very much. I once again thank the NIT Jalandhar for giving me these opportunities to discuss about the model, that is the strategies, straight away into the strategies, which is two-layered one, and first 2 years and then second 2 years into the engineering, wherein we are able to accept the policy which is given that multiple entry and exit with the option of taking an exit with a diploma which has a scope of its own. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So I would like to thank all the speakers in this session. And it is a very special honor that we have Shri Atul Kothari ji with us today. So I would like to invite him to share his ideas with us.
आज के कार्यक्रम की अध्यक्षता कर रहे सम्मानित डॉक्टर चंद्रशेखर जी, जालंधर एनआईटी के सम्मानीय डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर ललित अवस्थी जी, सभी विभिन्न एनआईटीज के सम्मानीय डायरेक्टर्स, प्रोफेसर्स, स्टूडेंट्स, सबसे पहले तो मैं एनआईटी जालंधर को बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन देना चाहूंगा कि सभी एनआईटीज के डायरेक्टर को एक मंच पर लाकर इंटरेक्शन का जो कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया, वो बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन के पात्र है। आज पहली बार हमारी जो पॉलिसी आई है, इस पॉलिसी में 2-3 मेन बातें हैं बेसिक। एक है कि ये भारत सेंट्रिक पॉलिसी है। दूसरी बात है कि इस पॉलिसी में कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव, होलिस्टिक एंड इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच है। ये जो कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव, होलिस्टिक, इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच है, वही भारतीय दृष्टि है, वही भारतीय विजन है। एक प्रकार से पार्टली टुकड़ों टुकड़ों में सोचना वो भारतीय दृष्टि नहीं है, लेकिन लास्ट 150 ईयर्स से हमारी एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में इसी प्रकार की सिस्टम रही। तो ये 2 बेसिक थॉट है इस पॉलिसी के। इसके बाद इसके सेंटर में सारी पॉलिसी बनी है। पॉलिसी के बारे में बहुत सारी बात होगी, इसलिए मैं उसमें कुछ डिटेल नहीं जाऊंगा, लेकिन पहली पॉलिसी 68 में आई थी, सेकंड पॉलिसी 86 में आई थी। इसमें काफी अच्छे सजेशंस थे। ऐसे कुछ कमीशंस भी बने। 48 में राधाकृष्ण कमीशन बना, 52 में मुदलियार कमीशन बना, 64 में कोठारी कमीशन बना। उनके अनुशंसाएं, सजेशन भी बहुत अच्छे थे। लेकिन मेन हमारी चैलेंज जो है, प्रॉब्लम है हमारे देश का, वो है इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का। इसलिए इम्प्लीमेंटेशन पर बहुत अच्छा प्लान करने की आवश्यकता है सब जगह। इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कई स्तर पर है। पहला है सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को करना है, विभिन्न यूनिवर्सिटीज और एनआईटी, आईआईटी, ट्रिपल आईटी, ऐसे सारे इंस्टीट्यूट को करना है, कॉलेज को, स्कूल को इम्प्लीमेंट करना है। तो इस सब लेवल पर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के प्लान, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है। और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन पार्ट में मेनली 3 पार्ट है मेरी दृष्टि से। फर्स्ट है वो जो यहाँ विद्वान सब डायरेक्टर से, इसलिए सिर्फ मैं फॉर्मेलिटी के लिए कह रहा हूं, इस पॉलिसी का पूरा स्टडी करना चाहिए, वर्ड टू वर्ड स्टडी करना चाहिए। बहुत छोटी पॉलिसी है, इंग्लिश में 66 पेज है और हिंदी में 102 पेजेस है। कई जगह लोकल लैंग्वेज में भी ड्राफ्ट तैयार हुआ है, क्योंकि जब तक टोटालिटी में उसको हम स्टडी नहीं करेंगे तब तक पार्टली स्टडी करने से वो होलिस्टिक अप्रोच नहीं आएगा। इसलिए हम लोग तो स्टडी सब किए ही है, मेरा विश्वास है सब पर, लेकिन हमारे सारे प्रोफेसर्स, टीचर्स, इन सबको भी एक कैंपेन चलाना पड़ेगा कि पहले पॉलिसी का पूरा स्टडी करें। तो स्टडी पूरा डिटेल करेंगे तभी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन प्रॉपरली करने की बात आएगी। तो ये फर्स्ट है। सेकंड थिंग है कि जैसे आज जालंधर NIT और हमने शिक्षा संस्कृत न्यास ने मिलकर ये प्रोग्राम आयोजित किया, तो इससे काम नहीं चलेगा। ये प्रोग्राम एक चेन प्रोग्रामों की बनानी पड़ेगी। हमने अभी शिक्षा संस्कृत न्यास ने इस प्रकार के विभिन्न इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ मिलकर मिनिमम हमने 250 प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज किया है देश में पॉलिसी के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए, ओनली पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन। इसमें फर्स्ट स्टार्टिंग ये था कि पॉलिसी क्या है, इस पर किए। सेकंड राउंड में सब्जेक्ट वाइज किए कि पॉलिसी एवं लैंग्वेज, पॉलिसी एवं भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा, पॉलिसी एवं ऑटोनॉमी, इस प्रकार के हमने सेमिनार्स किए, वेबिनार्स किए देश भर में। थर्ड राउंड में हमने स्टार्ट किया है, जैसे अभी हम NIT के लोग अभी यहाँ साथ मिले हैं, इस प्रकार हमने IIIT के डायरेक्टर्स का भी किया, हमने IIT के लिए भी किया। अलग अलग स्टेट में सारी यूनिवर्सिटी एक प्लेटफॉर्म पर आकर इंटरेक्शन करे। टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी का हमने पूरे कंट्री का किया। तो ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि हम सब मिलकर इंप्लीमेंटेशन का प्लान बना सकते हैं क्या। बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट है इसमें, वो हम सब जानते हैं, इसका काफी डिस्कशन भी इसमें हो गया है। लेकिन जैसे क्रेडिट की बात है, क्रेडिट बैंक की बात है, मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी अप्रोच की बात है, मल्टीपल एग्जिट एंट्री की बात है, द्विभाषा यानी बाइलिंगुअल सिलेबस की बात है, यानी लैंग्वेजेस की बात है एक प्रकार से, स्किल डेवलपमेंट और वोकेशनल एजुकेशन की बात है। ऐसे सब्जेक्ट क्या हम एक एक NIT डिवाइड कर सकते हैं? वो NIT इस पर डिटेल काम करेगा और सब NIT का फिर उसका रिपोर्ट कंप्लीट करके वो भेजेंगे और फिर इस पर एक्सरसाइज करके सजेशन सबके लिए जाएंगे और फिर वो फाइनल डॉक्यूमेंट बनेगा जो सारे NITs के लिए यूजफुल होगा। तो इस प्रकार के सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स का कंपाइल करके हम एक अच्छी सी बुकलेट भी पब्लिश कर सकते हैं। हम लोगों ने टेक्निकल एजुकेशन पर प्लान किया है और इसकी प्रिपरेशन अभी चल रही है। शिक्षा संस्कृति हायर एजुकेशन पर पहले प्लान किया, सेकंड स्कूल एजुकेशन पर किया और अभी थर्ड टेक्निकल एजुकेशन पर भी हम इस प्रकार का प्लान कर रहे हैं। तो टेक्निकल एजुकेशन में भी IIT, NIT, IIIT, यूनिवर्सिटी सिस्टम, ये सब अलग अलग है, इसमें काफी अंतर है। तो स्पेसिफिक फिर इस प्रकार हम लोगों ने इस पर काम करने की आवश्यकता है। तो एक साथ मिलकर काम करेंगे तो बहुत कम समय में हमारा काम अच्छी तरह से हो जाएगा। एक बेसिक डॉक्यूमेंट तैयार हो जाएगा, फिर इंप्लीमेंटेशन की प्रोसेस आगे इजीली आसानी से हो सकती है। इससे आगे भी जैसे अभी IIIT प्रयागराज, और हम लोगों ने मिलकर प्रोग्राम किया कि NITs, IITs, ट्रिपल IITs में मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी अप्रोच को कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करना, इस पर एक वेबिनार हुआ। तो इस प्रकार जितना माइन्यूटली सब्जेक्ट वाइज भी हम इसके वेबिनार इस प्रकार के आयोजित करेंगे, तो फिर उसमें डिटेल चर्चा होगी और कॉन्क्रीट बात होगी, तो फिर इंप्लीमेंट बहुत इजी हो जाएगा इंप्लीमेंटेशन। तो ये एक पूरी प्रोसेस देश भर में हमने आगे बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता है। तो मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है प्रोफेसर ललित जी को कि इसमें से हम एक 4-5 लोगों की टीम बना लें और वो पूरा इस पर प्लान करें कि पूरे देश भर के NIT में इंप्लीमेंटेशन का हम सब मिलकर कैसे प्लान करेंगे। जो मैंने कुछ सजेशन दिया उसके आधार पर और कुछ सजेशन भी हो सकते हैं, बाकी लोगों ने भी दिए हैं। तो इन सबको मिलाकर एक अच्छा प्लान 3-4 लोग मिलकर बनाए और फिर हम सब मिलकर उसको आगे बढ़ाने की एक प्लानिंग करें। तो ये एक न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का एक सिस्टम डेवलप करने की आवश्यकता है, और वो काफी अच्छी बात है कि इसका स्टार्टिंग हो गया है देश भर में। बहुत पॉजिटिव एटमॉस्फेयर है देश भर में अभी, ये एक अच्छी बात है बहुत। सेकंड ये है कि जो इसी का एक सब्जेक्ट आत्मनिर्भरता है, सेल्फ रिलायंस, और उसमें टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूट का सबसे ज्यादा रोल है, क्योंकि आज हमारे देश में जैसी टेक्नोलॉजी हमको चाहिए देश को, उस प्रकार की टेक्नोलॉजी शायद हम क्रिएट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। जैसे एग्जांपल के लिए कि एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड की बात करें तो हमने पहले बैलगाड़ी थी हमारे यहाँ, बैलगाड़ी से कृषि होती थी, तो उसको मॉडर्नाइजेशन यानी क्या, हमने ट्रैक्टर लाए। तो ट्रैक्टर ये मॉडर्नाइजेशन सिर्फ नहीं है। ट्रैक्टर वेस्टर्न कंट्री में बाकी जगह इसलिए है कि वहां 5000-2000 एकड़ लैंड होता है लोगों के पास। हमारे यहाँ तो एक किसान के पास 5 एकड़, 10 एकड़, 15 एकड़ लैंड होता है। तो हमने हमारी बैलगाड़ी जो है, ये बैलगाड़ी को मॉडर्न करने का कभी नहीं विचार किया। इस बैलगाड़ी के व्हील की सिस्टम में कुछ ऐसे बेरिंग ऐसी सिस्टम को डाली जाए कि जिससे बैलगाड़ी की स्पीड भी बढ़ जाए, काम भी जल्दी हो, और किसान का खर्च नहीं होगा, कुछ फाइनेंशियली भी किसान को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा। तो इस प्रकार की नीड बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट की जो बात है, जैसे कुछ एरियाज में, एग्जांपल के लिए टमाटर जब वो क्रॉप होता है तो कभी कभी 2 रुपीज 5 रुपीज केजी हो जाता है, और बेचारे किसान फिर रोड पर फेंक देते हैं टमाटर, क्योंकि ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का खर्च भी नहीं निकलता है उसका। और उसी समय टमाटर के सॉस के रेट में कोई चेंज नहीं होता है उसी विलेज में। जब टमाटर के 100 रुपये केजी है तब भी टमाटर के सॉस का वही रेट होता है, और 5 रुपये केजी टमाटर है तभी वही रेट में मिलता है सॉस। तो ऐसे सॉस बनाने का छोटा सा कोई मॉडल डेवलप नहीं कर सकते क्या हम, कि उस एरिया में एक छोटा सा सॉस बनाने का कोई इंडस्ट्रीज होगा, जिससे वहां के लोग सेल्फ रिलायंस भी बनेंगे, वहां एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी क्रिएट होगा, और किसानों को बहुत अच्छा पेमेंट भी मिलेगा। तो इस प्रकार की जो आवश्यकता है, इंडस्ट्रीज की आवश्यकता है। मैं कल जब कानपुर में था तो वहां के सारे इंडस्ट्रीज ने कहा कि हमारे हर इंडस्ट्रीज के बाद एक बोर्ड लगा होता है कि हमको स्किलफुल लोग चाहिए, लेकिन मिल नहीं रहे हमको। तो इंजीनियर तो है, लेकिन जैसी स्किल चाहिए उस इंडस्ट्रीज में, इस प्रकार के नहीं है। तो वहां हमारी योजना प्लान भी बनाया कि सारे इंडस्ट्रियल लोग, वो एक प्लान बना कर देंगे कि हमको किस किस प्रकार के लोग चाहिए, और इसको बेस बनाकर वहां की यूनिवर्सिटी में, वहां के कॉलेजेस में स्किल डेवलपमेंट में प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट करेंगे। तो इस प्रकार जो नीड बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजी का या स्किल वाले लोगों का जो नीड है हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज की, हमारी एग्रीकल्चर की, इस सब की, इस प्रकार के लोग कैसे तैयार कर सकते हैं हम ये दोनों का। इसलिए मैंने कहा कि ये जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत है वो सबको साथ जोड़कर हमने ये प्रोग्राम आगे बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता है। वो आइसोलेशन में करने से ज्यादा लाभ नहीं होगा, कुछ तो लाभ होगा ही नहीं होगा ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है, लेकिन पूरी सोसाइटी की नीड और सब मिलकर इसको प्लान करेंगे तो बहुत इजी हो जाएगा। जैसे वहां एक ब्यूरोक्रेट थे कि जो इंडस्ट्रीज को और गवर्नमेंट के बीच में कोऑर्डिनेशन का काम करते हैं, तो उन्होंने अनाउंस किया कि जो भी इंडस्ट्रीज का ऐसा कोई प्रॉब्लम हो तो मेरे पास आए, मैं सॉल्व कर दूंगा। काम इजी हो गया। वहां पॉलिटिशियन थे, एमएलए थे, उन्होंने कहा कि इसमें क्या क्या आवश्यकता है तो मुझे बताइए, मैं उसमें हेल्प करूंगा आपको। तो इस प्रकार एक कोऑर्डिनेट एफर्ट होगा, सब मिलकर सामूहिक प्रयास। तो हम सारे एनआईटीज का एक उस जहां हमारी एनआईटीज है एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट को हम एडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं क्या, और उस एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पर ऐसी एक कमिटी अपॉइंट करना। देश में एनआईटीज, आईआईटी, ट्रिपल आईटीज और यूनिवर्सिटीज मिलाकर लगभग 1000 इंस्टीट्यूशन है और 64 डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, सॉरी 644 डिस्ट्रिक्ट है। तो एक इंस्टीट्यूशन एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट को एडॉप्ट करेंगे तो नेक्स्ट 3 इयर्स 5 इयर्स में हमारा देश आत्मनिर्भर हो जाएगा। तो इस प्रकार का हम लोग मिलकर अगर प्लान करेंगे, और हमने एक सेल्फ रिलायंस आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए एक कैंपेन स्टार्ट किया है। जब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अनाउंस किया आत्मनिर्भर भारत के बारे में, तो मैंने सोचा कि आत्मनिर्भर भारत कैसे होगा। तो मेरे मन में विचार आया कि जब तक देश का छात्र आत्मनिर्भर नहीं होगा तब तक देश आत्मनिर्भर नहीं हो सकता है, और देश के छात्र स्टूडेंट्स को आत्मनिर्भर करने का माध्यम एक ही है, एजुकेशन, शिक्षा। इसलिए शैक्षिक संस्थानों की, एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन की बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है इसमें। इसलिए हमने कैंपेन का नाम रहेगा आत्मनिर्भर भारत में शैक्षिक संस्थानों की भूमिका। और लगभग ये जलंधर एनआईटी, इस प्रकार हायर लेवल के 15 इंस्टीट्यूट ने ये कैंपेन स्टार्ट कर दिया है, और 12 स्कूल के इंस्टीट्यूशन ने, जिसके 2, 3, 4 स्कूल है, ऐसे ग्रुप है, जो ऐसे 12 ग्रुप ने, 12 स्कूल इंस्टीट्यूशन ने ये कैंपेन स्टार्ट कर दिया है। एक ही छोटा सा एग्जांपल के, झाबुआ डिस्ट्रिक्ट है एमपी का, ट्राइबल एरिया है पूरा, वहां एक स्मॉल इंस्टीट्यूशन 4 स्कूल है उनके, शारदा विद्यापीठ। उन्होंने पूरे झाबुआ डिस्ट्रिक्ट को आत्मनिर्भर करने का प्लान कर लिया, और 2 को गांधी जयंती पर इसका इनॉग्रेशन भी हो गया, और वहां भी इस प्रकार की एक कमेटी अपॉइंट की है सारे लोग। तो इस प्रकार एक स्कूल इंस्टीट्यूशन ऐसा कर सकते हैं, तो यूनिवर्सिटी, आईआईटी, एनआईटी वो तो बहुत इससे ज्यादा कैपेबल है सब दृष्टि से। और ये आत्मनिर्भर भारत भी इसका एक पॉलिसी का पार्ट ही है। जो पॉलिसी में स्किल डेवलपमेंट, वोकेशनल एजुकेशन, इसको बढ़ावा देने की बात की है, वो यही है कि इससे आत्मनिर्भर बने देश। तो इस प्रकार के दोनों विषय सेपरेट विषय नहीं है, हमने डिस्कशन थोड़ी सेपरेट की, ठीक है, वो तो आवश्यक थी, लेकिन ये दोनों विषय कंबाइंड है। तो ये कुल मिलाकर हम न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का, इस प्रकार अगर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का हम प्लान करेंगे तो इस पॉलिसी में देश की शिक्षा बदलने की कैपेसिटी, ताकत है। जैसे हम एजुकेशन सिस्टम चाहते थे आज तक, ऐसी एजुकेशन सिस्टम हम एस्टैब्लिश कर सकते हैं। और हमारा शिक्षा संस्कृति न्यास का एक नई वाक्य है कि देश को बदलना है तो शिक्षा को बदलो, शिक्षा बदलेगी तो देश बदलेगा। जैसा हमको सिटीजन चाहिए, जैसी सोसाइटी चाहिए, जैसा नेशन चाहिए, वैसी एजुकेशन होनी चाहिए। वैसी एजुकेशन आज तक थी नहीं, और सौभाग्य से हमको एक अच्छी पॉलिसी मिल गई है। हमारे स्टूडेंट्स में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है मेरी दृष्टि से, बहुत इंटेलेक्चुअल है हमारे स्टूडेंट्स प्रोफेसर सब। बस पॉलिसी की जरूरत थी, वो आ गई, इसको इंप्लीमेंट करके प्रॉपर एटमॉस्फेयर क्रिएट करेंगे। वही हमारे स्टूडेंट्स अमेरिका में जाकर सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, और वर्ल्ड लेवल की बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों के सीईओ है हमारे छात्र, तो भारत में क्यों नहीं कर सकते? बस ऐसा एक पॉलिसी हमारे सामने आ गई है, और एक एटमॉस्फेयर ऐसा क्रिएट कर, और इंप्लीमेंटेशन का प्रॉपर प्लान हम लोग कर ही रहे हैं। इस प्रकार इस दिशा में हम एक्टिवली प्लान बनाकर आगे बढ़ेंगे, तो मुझे लगता है कि जैसा राष्ट्र, जैसा भारत का हमने स्वप्न देखा है कि हमारा देश फिर से विश्वगुरु बनेगा, देश विश्वगुरु बनना है, समर्थ शक्तिशाली बनना है, उसका रास्ता तो थ्रू एजुकेशन ही जाता है। तो इस दृष्टि से हम सब मिलकर इस दिशा में सामूहिक प्रयास करें, और इसके प्रयास में जो कुछ हमारा रोल अपेक्षित होगा शिक्षा संस्कृति उत्थान न्यास का, इसके लिए हम तैयार हैं। साथियों, हम सभी इंस्टीट्यूशन में जुड़कर काम करेंगे, तो इस दिशा में हम सब मिलकर प्रयास करेंगे, ऐसे विश्वास के साथ पुनः एनआईटी के डायरेक्टर ललित कुमार अवस्थी जी, हमारे मित्र मिश्रा जी, और आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हुए मेरी वाणी को विराम देता हूं।
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Professor Lalit Kumar Avasthi to say a few words.
आज के इस वेबिनार में उपस्थित श्री अतुल कोठारी जी, श्री चंद्रशेखर जी, श्री रलन जी, और सभी निदेशक, सभी संस्थान के एनआईटीज के निदेशक, फैकल्टी, स्टाफ, स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ वेरियस एनआईटीज, आप सबका धन्यवाद है इस वेबिनार को में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए, इसमें अपने विचार रखने के लिए। और जैसा कि अतुल कोठारी जी ने कहा, हम एक ग्रुप, एक एनआईटीज के डायरेक्टर का एक ग्रुप बना सकते हैं जो आगे इस पे कैसे ये इम्प्लीमेंट करें, जो ये आज की रिकमेंडेशन है इनको आगे कैसे ले जा सकें। तो मेरा निवेदन है सभी निदेशक जो जुड़े हुए हैं, जो भी इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहता है वो अपने कंसेंट हमें भेज देंगे, तो इसको हम बना लेते हैं, और शिक्षा संस्कृति उत्थान न्यास के साथ इसको हम कोरिलेट कर लेंगे। और इसमें गाइडेंस रहेगी हमारे चंद्रशेखर जी की और एस.सी. रलन जी की, ताकि इसको हम एक इम्प्लीमेंटेशन स्ट्रेटजी फॉर एनआईटी बना दें। एक एग्जांपल है जो आवश्यकता से हुआ शुरू, कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ गई थी एनआईटी सिक्किम में, कुछ बच्चे थे तो वो बायोटेक्नोलॉजी पढ़ाई कर रहे थे, वहाँ कुछ टीचर्स नहीं थे, तो हमें वो बच्चे वहां से ट्रांसफर करके हमने यहाँ एनआईटी जालंधर में उनको पढ़ाया, उनकी डिग्री भी हुई और प्लेसमेंट भी यहाँ से हुई। तो इस तरह के कुछ छोट-मोट प्रयास चल रहे हैं, लेकिन ये अगर अक्रॉस एनआईटीज हो जाता है तो मुझे लगता है कि इट इज गोइंग टू बी वंडरफुल। बहुत ही अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहेगा कि अगर हम 31 एनआईटीज का ही एक समूह बना लें जिसमें ये इम्प्लीमेंट हो जाए, तो मुझे लगता है ये एक एग्जाम्पल हो जाएगा कि कैसे इस नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं। इन शब्दों के साथ मैं विराम देता हूं अपनी वाणी को, और धन्यवाद करता हूं अपने दोनों चेयरमैन और कोठारी जी का, जिन्होंने ये सुझाया कि अगर ऐसा कोई प्रोग्राम किया जाए जिसमें एक डिस्कशन डेलिब्रेशन हो तो इसको हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं। तो धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Professor R.K. Garg, Dean Faculty Welfare, to please conclude the session.
Sir, good afternoon to all of the experts, chairman of NIT Jalandhar, also chairman of NIT Hamirpur, directors. This was indeed a very great session, and in the very short, if I try to sum up, the program was started by Professor Chandrasekharji. Whatever he said was based upon his total exposure of academia. In his address, he has emphasized on value education, that is ethics, which is the need of the students these days. He has emphasized on creation of competency in the students, and also he has proposed that the training should be given to the students not only in the class, rather they should be allowed to work in multidisciplinary area, and they should learn from the society, also learn from each other. He has also emphasized on the need of question paper setting, evaluation system, and also he has taken the importance of commercialization of the research. He has also emphasized on systematic, useful education system, which will certainly lead to innovation and inventions in the Indian scenario. Amongst panelists, the very first turn was with Professor Govil. Professor Govil has also addressed the value education in the present scenario. Rightly pointed out by him that value cannot be given a backseat in the world of technology. In that case, he has emphasized the role of preschooling, schooling, and higher education to implement the national education policy. He has also spoken of the need of discipline and passion for achieving the excellence in higher education. Professor Govil has raised the need of revision of curriculum, taking the need of interdepartmental interactions and research at the university level. Further, the technical staff has to be given with the total skill knowledge so that the need of the students are addressed. After Professor Govil, Professor Karunesh Kumar Shuklaji, he has emphasized on many things. According to him, a teacher is not only required to be an educator rather, but entrepreneur. He has emphasized on the need of multidisciplinary universities, in which, in addition to engineering, sciences and social sciences should also be floated. He has emphasized on the need of creating analytical thinking and competences with the students. Also, there is a need to start the new programs to meet the technological challenges, in addition to conventional branches of the engineering in NITs. Here's one proposal, that is, there has to be a strong bond between all the 31 NITs, where it is possible for them to transfer the credits and also use the resources for online education. That's really praiseworthy. Distance learning and online programs are the need for the effective implementation of national education policy, which has been raised by him. Also, there is a need for the skill development of local people for which NITs can participate. He has also emphasized on the need of flexible curriculum so that the students are allowed to choose the subjects of their choice, thus coming up with the competencies in their talent. After Professor Shukla, Professor Ramanna Rao, who is director of NIT Warangal, he has also emphasized on the need of online learning mode because of the large number of students in the present system in different NITs. He has also emphasized on the need of interdepartmental interactions and further emphasized that the science streams and social sciences should be started in the higher education institutions. As pointed out in NEP, there has to be an option for multi-exit. The same thing that should be introduced at all levels in terms of major and minor degrees, as we are practicing at Jalandhar and many more institutions. Also, he has simply taken the need of industry-oriented master's program, which should be floated by different NITs to help the local industries. In his address, Professor Rao has also emphasized the need of internship for 6 months to 1 year. For that, if that is going to be done, that will be resulting in skill development of the students. After him, Professor Mini Shaji Thomas, she has addressed the Self-Reliant Bharat program through implementation of NEP. In his address, she has spoken on 3 aspects. One is the need of students to be self-reliant through all-round personality grooming with the help of multiple choice of study, connecting them with realities of life, and transforming the existing university to multiversity system. Second, she has emphasized on research to be self-reliant. For that, she has emphasized on boosting interdisciplinary research involving industry and need for more and more patenting. She has also emphasized on collaboration with industry and other institutions. The third point she has emphasized is neighborhood self-reliant through mentoring of other institutions nearby, internship to students, and helping industry in neighborhood. After her, Dr. Rajat Gupta, he has also emphasized on multiple disciplinary approach and the length and breadth to be decided, taking the level of NIT into account. As per NEP, credit transfers, resource sharings, that's very, very important, and teachers to be trained properly to meet the challenges. After him, Professor K.U. Rao from Surathkal, he has emphasized on the introduction of new subjects to meet the technological challenges in the curriculum. He has also emphasized the need of skill development to meet the challenges of 21st century. Also, the need of integrated curriculum and pedagogical reforms so that the teachers are able to support the students in real life problem. And there is a need to shift from the conventional teaching to meet the real life problems. He has also emphasized on multidisciplinary education model. After that, Shri Kothari ji, he has given a proposal to all the directors of NITs to come up with a formation of groups and deciding the role of individual so that the implementation of NEP that can be done in a very, very effective manner. In that particular regard, Professor Lalit Awasthi, Director of NIT, has already proposed a group inviting all the directors who want to be a group of this particular mission. According to me, this program is going to be a milestone in the implementation of national education policy at the national level, and all of the proceedings of this program will be helping the decision makers in coming up with the effective strategy for its implementation. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Garg. So there is a long list of people to thank for the efforts made to organize such an event. So I would now like to invite Dr. Sushendra Mishra to present the formal vote of thanks.
थैंक यू, वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून, नमस्कार। ये आज का ये कार्यक्रम सुबह 11 बजे से स्टार्ट होकर के अभी खत्म हो रहा है और इसमें सम्मिलित महानुभाव माननीय श्री अतुल कोठारी जी, माननीय श्री चंद्रशेखर जी, श्री रलहन जी और हमारे निदेशक महोदय विभिन्न संस्थाओं से, ये मैं माननीय श्री अतुल कोठारी जी का धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा, जिनके सतत प्रयास से NIT जालंधर ही नहीं पूरे देश में अलग अलग संस्थाएं, चाहे वो यूनिवर्सिटी हो, इंस्टीट्यूट हो, कॉलेज हैं, सभी इस शिक्षा नीति को लागू करने में, उसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में कैसे हम इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे, इस पे कार्यक्रम आयोजित कर रहे हैं। और ये बहुत ही धन्यवाद देता हूं अतुल कोठारी जी को कि NIT जालंधर को ये अवसर दिया कि हमने सारी संस्थाओं को, NIT की जितनी विभिन्न एरिया में हैं, उनको हमने इनवाइट किया और वो लोग इस कार्यक्रम में सम्मिलित हुए, जिन्होंने राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति को देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने में क्या रोल अपनाना चाहिए और राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति को कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करें, इस पे डिस्कशन किए गए। और बहुत ही ऐसे सारे निदेशक ने बहुत सी सारी चीजें, मुद्दे अपने शेयर की, कैसे हम इंप्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं अपने राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति को और देश को आत्मनिर्भरता की तरफ ले जाने के लिए। तो धन्यवाद माननीय श्री अतुल कोठारी जी का, जो उन्होंने अपना बहुमूल्य समय निकाल करके सुबह 11 बजे से लेकर के अब तक हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में मार्गदर्शन दे रहे हैं। मैं पहले सेशन के मुख्य अतिथि प्रोफेसर श्री एस.सी. लरहन जी को धन्यवाद देता हूं कि जिन्होंने अपने इंडस्ट्रियल एक्सपीरियंस, अपने खुद के एक्सपीरियंस को शिक्षा नीति के साथ कैसे जोड़ करके आगे बढ़ाएं, उसके लिए उन्होंने अपने वचन दिए। साथ ही मैं सभी निदेशक महोदय जिन्होंने पहले सेशन में प्रोफेसर अनुपम वासु जी, प्रोफेसर विभूति भूषण, प्रोफेसर प्रदीप कुमार जैन जी, प्रोफेसर श्यामलाल सोनी जी, प्रोफेसर C.S.P. राव जी और प्रोफेसर राजीव त्रिपाठी जी, प्रोफेसर गौतम सूत्रधार जी, जिन्होंने अपने बहुमूल्य वचन इस शिक्षा नीति और आत्मनिर्भरता भारत की तरफ ले जाने के लिए अपने शब्द गए और इसको हम आगे लागू करने के लिए प्रयासरत रहेंगे। इसी तरह हमारे दूसरे सेशन में प्रोफेसर चंद्रशेखर जी की अध्यक्षता में कार्यक्रम हुआ, जिसके लिए मैं प्रोफेसर चंद्रशेखर जी को धन्यवाद देता हूं, जिन्होंने बहुत ही अपने अनमोल वचन कहे, जो शिक्षा को कैसे इनोवेटर अगर प्रोड्यूस नहीं करेंगे तो शिक्षा का कोई महत्व नहीं है। जब तक इनोवेटर नहीं आएंगे, हम स्टूडेंट को इनोवेट करना नहीं सिखाएंगे तो हम शिक्षा को आगे नहीं ले जा सकते और देश को आत्मनिर्भर नहीं बना सकते। धन्यवाद मैं प्रोफेसर चंद्रशेखर जी का करता हूं। इसी तरह मैं सभी निदेशक महोदय प्रोफेसर महेश चंद्र गोविल जी, करुणेश कुमार शुक्ला जी, प्रोफेसर N.V. रामाना राव जी, प्रोफेसर मिनी साजी थॉमस, प्रोफेसर रजत गुप्ता जी, प्रोफेसर कर्णम राव डायरेक्टर सर्कल, प्रोफेसर अन्य समस्त निदेशक महोदय, किसी का नाम भी छूट गया हो क्योंकि लंबी लिस्ट है, तो सभी का धन्यवाद देता हूं कि उन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम में अपना बहुमूल्य समय निकालकर और हमें कुछ अपने शब्दों से जो उनके द्वारा किए गए कार्य हैं उनके बारे में बताया और कैसे आगे हमने NEP को लागू करना है और देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाना है उसके बारे में वचन दिए। इसी के साथ ही मैं अपने ऑर्गेनाइजर प्रोफेसर गर्ग, प्रोफेसर अनीस, प्रोफेसर मुखोपाध्याय, प्रोफेसर सैनी, प्रोफेसर सिन्हा एंड कोऑर्डिनेटर मैडम हरलीन दाहिया, सभी का धन्यवाद देता हूं कि उन्होंने कार्यक्रम को बहुत अच्छी तरीके से आगे बढ़ाया और कार्यक्रम को समापन तक बहुत अच्छी तरह प्रयास किया ले जाने के लिए। समस्त ही जो भी लोग यहाँ पे कार्यक्रम को सुना और सम्मिलित रहे उनके भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। इसी के साथ मैं कार्यक्रम को समापन की घोषणा करता हूं। धन्यवाद देता हूं आप सभी को कि इस कार्यक्रम में जुड़े रहें। साथ ही एक चीज और जो कहना चाहूंगा सभी निदेशक महोदय से, जिस तरह से हमारे निदेशक महोदय प्रोफेसर अवस्थी जी ने कहा कि हम NIT का एक ग्रुप बनाएंगे, उसी तरह हम रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि सारी NITs में अपने यहाँ NIT के अंदर भी एक ग्रुप बने जो उस कार्यक्रम NEP को आगे ले जाने में सहयोग करें। इसी के साथ मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
थैंक यू एवरीवन। थैंक यू चंद्रशेखर जी। सभी लोग डिस्कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद सबका।
नमस्कार।